Let's focus on this one here. Brentford without Ivan Toney's like Argentina without Messi, like Christmas without a tree, like New Year without wild resolutions you've no intention of keeping. Brentford against Liverpool, live on Talksport with former Liverpool and England midfielder Danny Murphy, alongside your commentator Sam Matterpace.
Thank you very much, Adrian. Very good afternoon to you all. Happy New Year. Football embraces the New Year adage of out with the old and in with the new at this time of year. The last strains of Auld Lang Syne may still be echoing in the air, but in football circles, at least, they're being drowned out by the clanging doors opening to the January sales. Liverpool have acted already in a rush to reinvigorate a season that has not quite got going. Brentford trying to stave off interest in a swoop for their hitman, whose absence today is likely to underscore how priceless he is. Ross Stewart from Sunderland has been linked, but losing Ivan would be terrible for the Bees. He's been involved in 30 goals for them since promotion. They have also secured the services of Thomas Frank, their manager, who on Christmas Eve committed his future to the club until 2027. Continuity may then be the best gift of all. The team used then without Tony involved. Johan Visser starts up front alongside Brian Mbeumo. The only other change, Vitaly Janelt coming into the heart of midfield. And for Liverpool, 3 changes. Konate comes back into the team for the first time from the start since the World Cup. Fabinho starts in place of Henderson, who's got concussion. And also the opportunity for Harvey Elliott to start in midfield again is given to him by Jurgen Klopp once more. Virgil van Dijk is the captain in the absence of Henderson. He currently in the centre circle talking with Stuart Atwell, who is our referee today, and Christian Norgard, who is the influential captain of Brentford Football Club today. They certainly missed him when he was out injured over the course of the first part of the season with an Achilles injury. There is a bit of a hush around this stadium, the Brentford Community Stadium, that holds 17,000 in a tight corner in West London. The Bees pride themselves on their place in the community, and before we start, Brentford will pay tribute to their supporters who have passed over the course of the last year with a minute's applause. Let's get down to business. The first live Premier League commentary of the new year pits Brentford against Liverpool, live and exclusive to national radio, right here on Talksport. Brentford in red and white striped jerseys, black shorts, attacking the goal away to our right in this first half. It's dark green shirts and shorts for Liverpool with white socks. They're attacking the goal away to our left. And alongside me, Danny Murphy. And Danny, Liverpool, like a lot of clubs, haven't really got started after the World Cup break, but Brentford will be delighted with their return. But how significant is that absence of their talisman going to be?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, but you think it's a huge loss. His presence alone puts the bit of fear into the defenders. They know how good he is physically. The long throw-ins are a key weapon for Brentford, and of course his aerial ability to play out over that press. We saw them here cause Liverpool problems last season, so we'll see what they do, if anything different, without him. It's going to be interesting battle in the middle of the park tonight as well, this Brentford midfielder. Not just talented players, they work ever so hard. They've got a good tenacity about them.
He is sitting Ivan Toney, about 6 or 7 rows down in front of us, away to our left-hand side, peering on from behind the Brentford dugout. As Mo Salah picks the ball up over on the far side, can't control it, goes out of play. The two teams then, Brentford with David Raya in goal, back five of Roerslev at right wing-back, Zanka Pinnock, Ben Mee and Rico Henry across the back, Matthias Jensen, Norgard and Janelt in midfield, with Vissa and Mbeumo, the speedy front men. And for Liverpool, they've got Alisson in goal, a back four of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Tsimikas, and then a midfield trio of Elliott, Fabinho and Thiago, Salah, Nunez and Oxlade-Chamberlain making his 100th Premier League appearance for Liverpool up top. Nunez involved in a collision early on with Martin Jorgensen, and Jorgensen, known as Zanka, is yellow carded early on. It's taken, well, less than 2 minutes for him to get a yellow card, which is a dangerous place to be when you're up against someone like Darwin Nunez.
Yeah, it does well, Nunez, just to nick it in front of him, gives the referee no option really. Sometimes you see the officials let somebody off early in the first minute. Don't think he could there. Gives him a difficult remainder of the game, doesn't it, when you're a centre-half and you get booked so early.
Absolutely. It means a free kick to Liverpool, just left of centre, about 15-20 yards outside the penalty area. Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to try and swirl it into the box. 1 minute 56 seconds played already, and here is Alexander-Arnold to step over the ball, leave it for Tsimikas, and it goes towards the back post, aimed in towards Nunez, takes a deflection off the onrushing Pinnock, but I think there was a little flick off him, and it goes out for a corner, the first of the game for Liverpool.
Good ball in from Tsimikas, right area, good pace. Always nice when you take set plays to get your first one right, gives you the confidence when you do your next. I have to say, I'm not sure about this green kit. I had one season in my career where we had a third kit of Fulham that was green, and the lads didn't half whinge about it after, because you don't get the same clarity because of the pitch.
Dark green, I think that is racing green. Is it possibly racing green? Corner over on the far side to be taken by Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's got a few green shirts to aim at. One of them was Nunez. Konate went up, didn't reach it. It was prodded out of the penalty area. Back in again from Elliott towards Van Dijk, who hits it. Tops the crossbar. Offside flag was up anyway. And there might have been a helping hand from David Raya on the way through. But the assistant over on the far side, Harry Leonard, was very quick with his flag.
And comes out to Harvey Elliott. Tries to get it in straight away. Right decision. Yard off. Great save though, wasn't it?
Really
Keeper wasn't
save.
to know. Strong left arm, got it over the bar from Van Dijk.
Really good save from David Raya to tip that onto the crossbar and spooned it over the top, and it's out for a free kick in the end after the offside flag that went up against Virgil van Dijk. Pummeled clear by David Raya, who is starting his 33rd consecutive game in the Premier League since returning from injury halfway through last season. It goes high up into the Liverpool half. Over on the right side it is, about midway inside that Liverpool half of the field, thrown in by Trent Alexander-Arnold down the touchline, flicked up into the air by Harvey Elliott, who didn't get it under control. Fabinho steams in, wins the header, and it's hooked into the night sky by Ibrahima Konate. Has to react as the throw-in is quickly tossed in down the left-hand side by Mee, and chasing the ball into the corner was Brian Mbeumo, and it's out of play from Konate and out for a throw-in over on the far side. And anyone who's watched Brentford over the course of the season knows what to expect when they get a throw-in in this sort of position, high up on the left, be tossed into the near post, and everybody going towards it at rapid pace.
Why not? Use it. It's a good weapon for them. I played against the Stoke team back in the day when Dalat used to throw it. It was so hard to defend against. It's a real weapon.
Jensen to take it. High into the air it goes, in towards that near post. It's headed away by Darwin Nunez. The second ball won initially by Roerslev, but then it's Liverpool who look to counter-attack at rapid speed. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain darting forward, up towards Tsimikas, who's 10 yards inside Brentford territory on the left. Forward it goes towards Oxlade-Chamberlain, but Rico Henry is across on the cover, touches it out of play and away for a throw-in level with the edge of the penalty area. It remains 0-0, 5 minutes gone. Live on Talksport at the Brentford Community Stadium between Brentford and Liverpool in the Premier League. Remember, tomorrow night we've got more commentary for you. Manchester United back in action. They take on Bournemouth at an 8 o'clock kickoff. And then on Wednesday night, 2 commentaries from the Premier League on Talksport and Talksport 2, when we've got Aston Villa against Wolverhampton Wanderers to do. And tonight there's another commentary straight after this. Adrian Durham, who I think has got a push bike. Is it one of those renter bikes that you've got outside? Maybe I would probably imagine it's got a little bit of electricity powering it. He's going to go off towards the Cayenne Prince Foundation Stadium, which is not too far away from here, as Queen's Park Rangers are in action. That's live on Talksport a little bit later on. Ball on the right side, collected by Harvey Elliott, swung in by Mo Salah towards the near post, edge of the 6-yard box, away by Pinnock, who's probably been one of the best defenders for Brentford over the course of the season. He manages to hook it clear, and Liverpool win it back on halfway. Here's Danny Murphy. Hectic start.
It's a decent start, actually. Good tempo to the game. Sometimes when there's so many games over this festive period, you can get a bit of a flat start, but not tonight. This Brentford crowd very up for it. It's important for Liverpool, I think, talking about Henderson before, but to have Fabinho back, I think he adds a calming influence there in front of that back four.
Henderson out with a concussion. They're following the protocols after he was given a test the day after their last game, as the ball was slipped through by Salah towards Darwin Nunez. Just wasn't quite right and runs through to the goalkeeper. That's why he's not playing today. But that was a good sign of the combination, which is starting to develop between Darwin Nunez and Mo Salah. He's had a couple of chances over the course of the last few games as Darwin Nunez. I think I was reading that he had something like 13 shots without scoring in his last 2 league games.
Well, talking to great strikers, they always say the same thing, and you've heard it many times. If you're not getting the chances, you've got to worry.
Here is Salah trying to feed Darwin Nunez again. He's round the goalkeeper and he finishes. No, he sent it wide. Well, he should have finished into an open goal, but it was blocked on the line after a brilliant bit of defending by the Brentford back line. But another sign of that combination, picked up by Salah just in front of the centre circle, took it out of the sky, rolled the defender, slipped in Darwin Nunez. It was a brilliant ball, straight towards the penalty spot, round the goalkeeper he went, and it was excellent defending by Ben Mee.
It's a great little move, isn't it? Superb touch from Salah out the sky, and then he just plays him through central, takes it round the keeper on his left foot. Not sure he can do anything. It's tremendous defending from Mee.
It looked like a certain goal, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I was amazed he got it from where we were sat.
Brilliant defending from Ben Mee, who's been integral to Brentford's defence as well, alongside Pinnock. 16 of the 17 Premier League games that Brentford have played since he signed, he started it, and there's a good reason for that. Here's Thiago in midfield for Liverpool. Coming forward, the interception comes from Jensen, but it's only momentarily, because Oxlade-Chamberlain has been fed again by Van Dijk, and now it's out wide on the left-hand side, high up inside opposition territory towards Tsimikas, and then back to Thiago, then Virgil van Dijk stroking it into Harvey Elliott in the Liverpool midfield, just in front of the centre circle. 0-0 the score, live on Talksport. It's game night, Monday night. Whenever there's live Premier League football, it'll be live on Talksport. Thiago travelling forward, looks up, tries to pick out Trent Alexander-Arnold on the far side, wasn't accurate enough with his pass, and Rico Henry has nabbed it, and lightning quick as he is, rushes up to halfway, is chopped down by Harvey Elliott, and it's going to be a yellow card from Stuart Atwell, our referee, who again is very quick to produce a warning to Harvey Elliott.
He had to after giving the first one, but it's great play from Rico Henry, good feet, good power, nice and positive. It's the right decision, both the yellow cards. A little bit worrying for Brentford how easily they were cut open then by Salah and Nunez. Problem is when you play a back three against Liverpool and they play one striker with 2 wide men, your wing backs end up dropping off, and you've got 5 at the back against Liverpool's front 3, which means you're giving up possession in midfield. It's a long time to spend without the ball if you're going to do that. Those Brentford wing backs have got to be a bit braver and play a bit higher.
Well, Brentford are very good at being direct and long. They are ready to launch another one into opposition territory. David Raya out towards this near side, looking for Norgard, who nods it down into the penalty area. It comes back out on the edge of the box, just right side, with Jensen, who's being fought with by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's won that battle, Oxlade-Chamberlain. Now there's more players in green on the other side of the ball than Brentford ones, who are scampering back, and Nunez is leading the charge into Oxlade-Chamberlain, who couldn't quite sort his feet out.
Brilliant.
And Norgard got back very, very well indeed, and managed to nab the ball back for Brentford and steer it into the arms of his goalkeeper.
Well, it's a great break from Liverpool again. Nunez pace and his athleticism picks out Oxlade-Chamberlain edge of the box. But Norgard there, that's what you call a recovery run with intent. When you're a midfielder, sometimes you think you can't get back, but you keep going because you don't know. Recovery, recovery, recovery. See too many midfielders not doing that. Brilliant from the captain.
Brentford are on their best run of top flight form since 1939, 5 matches unbeaten, and ready to re-engage with a team that they gave one hell of a game to here last season. Johan Visser is just chasing the ball into the right channel now, trying to latch onto a pass. Scored an equaliser in the 82nd minute of that game. It was a 3-3 thriller. Here is Salah, deep inside his own half. Back to Elliott, who tries to square it but misplaces that pass, and Mads Roerslev will be the grateful recipient on halfway, and Brentford have the ball back. 10 and a half gone, 0-0 on Talksport, but the best chances so far have fallen to Liverpool. Darwin Nunez having a shot cleared off the line by the retreating Ben Mee, the best chance of the game so far. And Brentford have been scoring goals for fun in their last few matches. 2 against West Ham on Friday, 2 against Spurs on Boxing Day, 2 against City before the break, and they're coming forward here with Mbeumo leading the counter-charge. Across comes Konate and holds him off. The clearance by Alisson is met by Norgard. Jensen steers it back to Roerslev, and that's better from Brentford, who look up now. Can't see that looming figure of Ivan Toney, though, to aim the ball to, so go back to halfway. Pinnock then plays it down to Roerslev, who gets beyond Tsimikas with a little flick from Jensen. The ball into the box is blocked by Thiago, and it goes in on this near side and away for a throw into Brentford. That's their most enterprising piece of play so far.
Lovely bit of skill, wasn't it? Jensen, little flick, beats 2 Liverpool players, and then I think it was Roerslev. Couldn't get the cross in. Took a bit too long, let Thiago get over and make the block. That's where the space is going to be. If those wing backs can get forward high, early, get the ball, the switches.
Another long throw incoming from Matthias Jensen, down in front of us away to our right-hand side. He's about 10 yards back from the corner flag, but deep inside Liverpool territory here. He's going to toss this in long towards the near post. It's flicked away by Tsimikas, back out towards Matthias Jensen, and then Janot has a chance to bring it down and shoot towards the near corner, but didn't get enough power in it, and it was straight at Alisson, who immediately clutches the ball into his chest and then dispatches upfield towards Salah. But great anticipation from Rico Henry, who nods it down into the path of Mbeumo, then continues his run forward, wants the return, blocked by Harvey Elliott, and then cleared away by Fabinho. And now Brentford have to scamper back because Salah's got it on halfway. Infield it goes to Thiago. Visser trying to get back and win the ball but can't do so. It's switched left towards Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who runs at Jensen and then plays it wide into Tsimikas' path. Quickly Brentford get men behind the ball and stop any real threat of a counter-attack, and Liverpool have to start patiently building up once again with Alexander-Arnold on the right, into Salah, back to Alexander-Arnold again. 13 minutes gone live on Talksport, and it's Brentford 0, Liverpool 0 in the Premier League. Van Dijk back to Thiago, and then forward again into the path of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Tsimikas with a flick round the corner, looking to try and feed Thiago, but loses the ball and then quickly wins it back from Roerslev before switching the play back out to the right-hand side. Alexander-Arnold swings the ball from right to left, looking for Oxlade-Chamberlain, and it's flicked on into the path of Thiago. Thiago moves towards the edge of the penalty area, back to Oxlade-Chamberlain, then sends it forward towards the edge of the box where he's looking for Elliott. It's poked away by Mbeumo and then collected by David Raya by his goal line, 0-0.
Got to do a bit better there, Oxlade-Chamberlain. He had time, space, poor pass. Good numbers in the box. Try something a bit more inventive. Square ball cut out.
100th Premier League appearance today in Liverpool colours for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. As a long ball goes up towards Mbeumo, but it's cut out by Van Dijk eventually. Haven't maybe seen him at his very best in Liverpool colours because he's just been perennially injured, which has really led to a stuttering career.
He had a spell, didn't he, where he was playing midfield. I remember games against Manchester City, and I think it was the Champions League where he scored that wonder goal, and he had a 2 or 3 month period where he was electric. He's always had wonderful attributes. He's just never been able to stay fit long enough.
Visser in behind from Norgard's pass, an overhead kick on the turn, and maybe the offside flag was going to deny it, even if the spectacular goal was converted by Johan Visser. But it was a brilliant ball from Norgard over the top of the defence. He was just narrowly, and it was narrowly offside, just shoulder maybe a couple of inches beyond the last foot of Konate. But I wonder whether or not, did he take the right option when he tried to execute that?
No, but I was more admiring the pass from Norgard. I love a midfielder who takes risks, tries to make chances for his team. It was a good run, yeah, a yard off, but it was a good pass, wasn't it, from Norgard?
Brilliant.
unorthodox finish, wasn't it, really? You expect him to take it with his right foot and try and finish with his left, but I think his first touch was poor, so he tried the overhead kick, but better from Brentford.
Certainly a decent chance for the home side, who don't lose here very often. Tsimikas up to Oxlade-Chamberlain, blocked by the defender Matthias Jorgensen. Zanka, as he's known to his mates, and he wears Zanka on the back of his jersey, although I'm not necessarily sure whether we should call him Zanka or Jorgensen. Virgil van Dijk wears Virgil on the back of his jersey, and we're not going to go down that road. I remember once at the Africa Cup of Nations, Didier Zakora had Maestro on the back.
That's what you have on the back of yours, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I think it might be spelt slightly differently. Here on the left-hand side is Rico Henry. Henry moving up towards the left side of the Liverpool penalty area. He's intercepted the ball and then forced it out wide. Janot gives it back to Norgard, who's about 10 yards outside the Liverpool penalty area. Rico Henry sends it in towards the far post. Up there is Mbeumo. Doesn't get a clean header on it, and it steers wide. Pressure enough from Tsimikas to put him off, and it goes wide. But it was a very good cross from that left-hand side.
It was a good cross, and actually Tsimikas has got a 2v1 there. Oxlade-Chamberlain's got to get back in and help him there, because if it was over him, there was someone there. I think it was Roerslev at the back post behind Mbeumo.
Another good chance for Brentford, just starting to warm up into this game. Liverpool, who haven't been at their fluent bests, but are looking for a 5th straight Premier League win. They made heavy weather at times of their victory over Villa. Weren't particularly impressive against Leicester, but they created more chances in that game, and they got the job done.
Rico Henry started well, hasn't he? Nice and positive down that left side, and Salah's not going to track him, so he can keep going and keep going.
He has been brilliant, actually, for Brentford since promotion. He loves to stick a cross into the box, and he's been involved in almost every game this season. I just wonder whether or not there's been a few admiring glances in his direction by some other Premier League clubs, but also maybe by the England manager.
Yeah, I've heard, there's been rumours as this last season, wasn't there, even? He's quick, he can defend one-on-one, he's good crosser of the ball.
Thiago into the box looking for Nunes, who brings it down and tries to get himself away from the defender. Norgard stands in front of him and wins the ball back, and then quickly they're on the counter-attack, and then Mbeumo has beaten Virgil van Dijk for pace, and he's in behind the defence, and he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He steers it forward, and it's saved by Alisson. A big left hand comes out. He couldn't finish. He wasn't confident on his right foot. That would have been the better way to take the effort. He went with the outside of his left, and it was stopped by Alisson. But what a fabulous counter-attack, and what lightning speed he showed there, and Virgil van Dijk couldn't keep up with him. It's a corner.
It was a good recovery from Van Dijk. Didn't quite get there, but he did enough just to make him force that shot earlier than he wanted to take it. But what brilliant play from Norgard, winning the ball back, edge of his own box, playing through the lines with a brilliant pass, and then they were out.
And Norgard, who Danny identified on Talksport's social media channels earlier on today.
I did, yes.
I
tell you what, he's a proper player, I'd call him.
Corner from Mbeumo into the near post. Oh, and it hits Ben-Mee, and it goes in. And Alisson can't get down to scoop it out. Brilliant corner into a dangerous area. Ben-Mee didn't know much about it. It seemed to hit him and just squeeze beyond the left hand of Alisson. And Brentford lead Liverpool by a goal to nil.
Well, it's a good ball in, isn't it? Good pace. I think it hits Canate. I think it's an own goal. Comes off Canate's knee, doesn't know, doesn't see it, doesn't move his feet.
Yeah, it just flicks over the top of Fabinho, hits the arm of Ben-Mee, and then cannons off Canate. And I wonder whether or not they'll check this on VAR, because that was an important reaction.
They will check it.
Ben-Mee. If that's a handball, or deemed to be a handball, it was accidental, and the next action was not the immediate action for a goal, was it? Yeah, I think it was.
You can tell it hits his hand. It's not conclusive, that is it? That it hits his hand.
Well, if they deem that there is clear evidence for that, they're not going to overturn it. It's going to be a goal, and it's Ibrahima Konate with an own goal, which has given Brentford the lead.
It's the right decision, Sam, but it all started from Norgard. That move, that brilliant counter-attack. He wins the ball back, and best pass of the game. He get the counter, Good save from Alisson, then the corner and a goal up. All starts with the captain. Liverpool will be disappointed though.
Well, I've got to admit, when I look back at some of the handball decisions from the weekend and look back at some of the handball decisions across the season, I don't even think some of the officials know what the handball law is anymore.
Well, I didn't see any obvious evidence on the pictures we got there that there was a handball.
Either way, it's been given, and now Liverpool have to respond. And Darwin Núñez, who had the best chance of the game up until that point, is chasing a ball into the right corner. I think it went out of play over on the far side. It goes out for a throw-in. And bad news for Liverpool is that Brentford are pretty good if they get in front. Thomas Frank's team have never lost the Premier League game when they've scored first.
Well, records are there to be broken, Sam, you know that. And actually, this Liverpool side are quite used to going behind, aren't they?
Very used to going behind. In fact, they've been going behind in far too many games over the course of the season, and actually a top four team probably seems the limit of their ambition now because of that wretched habit of letting in goals. That's probably been their undoing in terms of challenging for the title. They've conceded first now in 11 of the 25 games they've played this season, and 18 of the last 32 matches, including this one, either side of the summer.
Yeah, it's definitely been a problem for them. I mean, sometimes you can be unlucky in conceding a goal, an own goal where you don't see it, hits your knee and goes in. It was more concerning how easily they were cut open the minute before the goal, with a bit of good play through the lines from Brentford.
Well, that all came from that Norgard intervention at one end, the quick pass forward, and then Mbeumo making the most of his pace to unsettle Van Dijk, win the corner, and that corner yielded the first goal of the game. 1-0 to Brentford here at the Brentford Community Stadium, live on Talksport, with Sam Matterface, Danny Murphy, Adrian Durham, who after this game will jet off to Queen's Park Rangers against Sheffield United.
Jet off? I thought he was getting a scooter.
Yeah, it's jet powered.
It'll have to be.
Away by Ben Mee from deep inside his own half. Up towards the halfway line it goes. And then there's a bit of a push by Virgil van Dijk, which Stuart Atwell allows to go. And Liverpool win the ball back once again. Harvey Elliott goes down the right. He scampers forward, tucks in field, plays it across the pitch from right to left. And Tsimikas then looks for Darwin Núñez. Another good bit of defending from Ben Mee, who took charge inside a crowded area. It comes back out to Tsimikas, and Liverpool on the attack once more. Played down the left to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. 23 gone, 1-0 Brentford. Thiago turns it back and finds Virgil van Dijk, who's just in front of the centre circle. And Brentford once again have got a lot of men behind the ball. They beat Manchester United here. They called Chelsea trouble. They went away to Manchester City and won up there just before the World Cup pause. And now they're leading Liverpool. Salah on to Trent Alexander-Arnold, into Elliott once again, back wide and out to Salah once more, and then into Trent Alexander-Arnold. Elliott, good football from Liverpool this. Elliott's cross into the box is a little bit too close to where Ethan Pinnock was standing alone, and he headed the ball clear, but it goes back out to Elliott again. Another cross into the box, an overhead attempt by Darwin Núñez. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain tries to get it out of his feet. He squares it towards Tsimikas, and it's saved down low by David Raya. And Kostas Tsimikas, who scored the winning penalty in the FA Cup final, but has never scored a goal for Liverpool in regulation time, is waiting further.
Well, it's a brilliant flick from Oxlade-Chamberlain. Great awareness, flicks it out to the left side. Tsimikas, he's just got to pass it either side of the keeper, really. It's a poor effort. Doesn't really get hold of it. It's a half-decent save, but he should save it. He's hit it straight at him. It's poor from the left back.
It's a great chance,
Brilliant
and that's why he's never scored a goal for Liverpool. Here's Tsimikas towards the penalty spot. Header away by Pinnock. Out to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's going to fire this one back into the box. It's over the head of Thiago. Back out to Tsimikas. Tsimikas tries to strike it, and again doesn't catch it right. It's picked up by David Raya, and it will be cleared away. 25 minutes on the clock. It's 1-0 to Brentford, but Liverpool have had two cracking chances in the game to get on the score sheet.
They have indeed, and that'll be encouraging for them. They're getting in some good positions, but that was a brilliant bit of improvisation, because he got the ball caught under his feet, Oxlade-Chamberlain, in the middle of the goal. Three of them converge on him to try and win it off. He spots Tsimikas, beautiful little flick.
Dear oh dear.
Should be 1-1.
David Raya kicking the ball at the back of Darwin Núñez. Down the line it goes from Zanka looking for the run of, oh, that's a mistake by Thiago, and Matthias Jensen is in behind the defence here, and he's got the wrong side of Fabinho. He's got back at him, and then his shot takes a deflection and goes over the top of the crossbar, and it should be a corner. And eventually Darren Cann, who's the assistant on this near side, indicates to Stuart Atwell that is the case. But another little mistake there, which led to a Brentford counter-attack, and that was trouble for Liverpool.
Yeah, he should have hit it earlier, Jensen. He does well, he anticipates the poor touch from Thiago, and he's in. Fabinho gives Fabinho the chance to get back. Thought he could have taken it a bit early and cut it across to the far post. Well, he was inside right position.
Well, bearing in mind how effective they were from the last corner, Liverpool will have to be on their mettle here. Their second corner of the game for Brentford, away to our right-hand side in those red and white candy stripes, attacking the goal towards the M4 motorway as the ball goes in towards the near post. It's missed again by Alisson, and it comes back out into the 6-yard box, and it's scrambled home.
Offside.
Well, the flag is up for offside, but it was scrambled home after a real melee inside the box. Johan Visser was the one who was celebrating and claiming that he was the one that put the ball beyond Alisson. VAR will certainly check it,
yeah.
And there'll be a nervous wait amongst the Liverpool support.
Well, these corners are causing problems, aren't they? Another great ball in, watch. Don't see anything there. What are we looking?
Yeah, he's come back off the pitch.
Yeah.
This has come back off the pitch, which means that if he's off the pitch when the ball's played forward, he is deemed to be on the line, so therefore he's the last player on the pitch, and that's an offside.
I'm glad you knew that.
Well, luckily,
they got away with it.
So did Darren Cann.
Yeah, well, it makes a change. They got away with it, Liverpool, because they should have scored. It was a good save from Alisson.
Yeah, it was Jorgensen who poked it forward, and it was then Johan Visser who hooked it into the net, but he was on the line when he did so, and he'd come back from off the pitch, and of course as a result of that he was flagged offside. So it's only 1-0, but that's 2 corners, and twice the ball's ended up in the back of the Liverpool net.
It's a worry. 2 great balls, by the way. Just looking down at the dugout, Brentford manager not very happy about something. Just calmed himself down.
Here is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain at the other end of the pitch on the left-hand side, trying to get the better of Jensen, who's closed him down well, and one possession, takes it towards the corner flag and is able to try and clear. It's blocked by Simicas. It should go out for a Brentford throw here. It does, and it remains 1-0. I don't know why Thomas Frank is upset about that.
I think maybe he was just frustrated that they didn't put it in earlier before he's had to, because he was watching the replay. I don't know. You know what managers are like. They're a bit temperamental at the best of the time.
Are you speaking from experience there?
Yeah. Well, some are calmer than others.
Are they more temperamental with you?
Yes.
Here is Rico Henry over on the far side. 28 gone. You're listening to Talksport. Sam Matterface and Danny Murphy here at the Brentford Community Stadium, with Adrian, who's going off to QPR Sheffield United, which follows us here on Talksport. Tomorrow night, Manchester United, Bournemouth. And then Tuesday night, choice of Premier League commentaries for you. And if you haven't got our app yet, where you can flick between TalkSport and TalkSport 2, then do so, and do so quickly, because you may well need it over the FA Cup weekend, where we've got a stunning number of commentaries that start on Friday night and end with the game between Oxford and Arsenal next Monday night. So it'll be a little bit later than this, but this time next week we'll be getting ready for that one. Here is Salah over on the far side, into Elliott, and then Alexander-Arnold. And he plays it wide towards the right side, where Fabinho has drifted for Liverpool. They're trailing here by a 1-0 and looking to try and come back from a deficit once again. Virgil van Dijk into Ibrahima Konate, whose own goal separates these two teams. Out wider to Trent Alexander-Arnold, just a touch in from the touchline. The diminutive figure of Harvey Elliott with his blonde hair and white socks. There's only a small, tiny inch of skin between the top of his socks and his shorts as the ball goes in towards the penalty area, looking for Simicas. He tries to send it back across the face of goal. It'll fall to Salah here. Salah trying to get it under control and wriggle past the defender. But standing in his way was Rico Henry, and he hooked it clear of the Brentford penalty area. Back out wide it goes to the left, and Simicas. And then it's all the way back to Van Dijk, who said, what am I supposed to do with that? And it's across to Ibrahima Konate.
Roerslever's got to...
In behind it goes towards Oxlade-Chamberlain as Liverpool look to quickly get the ball forward, but David Raya is there to catch it.
The Brentford right wing back, he's over-covering. He's following Oxlade-Chamberlain in all the way instead of passing him on to Zanka. He's got to pass him on. I think Thomas Frank's telling him that now. He's over-covering as Tsimikas is in oceans of space. 3 times he's been in the box free with the ball.
And I think Brentford are a little bit lucky that his shooting isn't as accurate or powerful as somebody else's. Brentford 1, Liverpool 0.
I think that's what the manager was talking to him about there. He's gone over because he can't keep being in that much space. When you play 3 centre halves, you have to pass the wide man on eventually. You can't go in as a wing-back. You're not playing full-back, you're playing wing-back.
Thrown on the near side, Jensen to take it. We've played over half an hour now. And Brentford at the moment in command of the match because they lead by a goal to 0. Ben Mee free on the edge of the box, sends it out left. It was probably unnecessary to hook that ball in a rushed fashion as he did. And it goes out of play and away for a goal kick. He had a bit more time and space. And Liverpool have it back again away to our right-hand side. Just looking at a replay of that goal once again. The only point of debate will be that Alexander-Arnold was also on the line, but he was a little bit of a touch in front of the line. Had he been behind the goal line as well, that goal would have counted.
Was there not a little whisper of a little sniff of a handball there maybe as well from Pinnock with the header? But and I don't know. The fact is he was behind the line, wasn't he? So it's the right decision.
Scores Brentford 1, Liverpool 0 on Talksport with Now Sports. Don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Brentford versus Liverpool live right now for $11.99. No contract, search Now Sports. The shot comes in, it's steered behind and away for a corner off Ethan Pinnock. Why would it have counted if Trent Alexander-Arnold was behind the line? Because if they're both off the pitch, they are measured as both being on the goal line.
Okay.
So they would be level with each other by virtue of the fact that they would both be on the goal line. Corner on the far side. And Alisson was obviously already on the goal line. Ball is on the far side by the corner flag. And it's going to be whipped in towards that near post area. There's a clutch of green shirts on the penalty spot. It's aimed in towards Konate, who got up there well, but it was blocked by Pinnock and then hooked away from deep inside his own penalty area by Jensen. Back with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who shoots from distance, and it's straight down the throat of David Raya, and it's collected by the Spanish goalkeeper, and it will be cleared away. You're listening to Talksport.
It was worth a dig from Oxlade-Chamberlain. Had a little bit of movement on. Quite catch it how he wanted, but it was moving on its way, quite low. Didn't bounce in front of him. He took it just in time.
You'll be pleased to know, as the ball goes past Johan Visser, out towards Ruoslav on this right-hand side, and Brentford come on another attack. Tsimikas was knocked to the floor by Visser, but it's Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain who's powering forward at a rapid pace.
Brilliant.
He was then stopped by Rico Henry, who's come over from left back into midfield, stopped Oxlade-Chamberlain, and it's almost played against him. It's gone out and it's away for a throw-in down in the right full-back position to Brentford. It was excellent defending by Rico Henry.
Spotted the danger really quickly and come across, didn't he? Liverpool wanted a free kick, but actually Brentford were wanting one 15 seconds before.
I was about to tell you actually some good news. Our intrepid producer Declan McCarthy reliably informs me that the Liverpool third jersey that they're wearing tonight combines a dark teal base with light teal and striking red logo. So you were asking what sort of green it was. That's the green it is. Dark
Similar
teal.
to your Audi TT, isn't it?
Yes, if I ever had one. Officially, the colours of Liverpool's third kit are dark atomic teal, Rio teal, and siren red.
It's not for me.
Sets a few alarm bells going, not sirens for Danny Murphy. And there's a few alarm bells going on that Liverpool defence. They've conceded once again today. And this time from a set piece, and they trail 1-0, and they're chasing the game. Trent Alexander-Arnold down the right. Brentford defending well here, and Janot gets in the way and manages to clear once again for the Bees. Up over the halfway line it goes. Remember, they took the lead against West Ham on Friday night, held on to it. They took the lead against Tottenham Hotspur, surrendered it on Boxing Day, but drew 2-2 with Antonio Conte's men. What are they going to do against Liverpool? 10 minutes before half-time, live on Talksport. Brentford's home record, very impressive. Just one team have beaten them here so far this season. That's Arsenal. Here's Konate out to the right, and Alexander-Arnold, who travels down the touchline and then moves infield, plays it into Fabinho, who lifts it over the top of Ben Mee for Salah to try and get a cross in. There wasn't really enough conviction behind that. Norgard, that man once again there to snuff out the danger and clear it. Liverpool come forward with Salah, up to Fabinho. It's all very tight. Almost everybody in Brentford colours is inside their penalty area as the ball comes in from Elliott, hooked away from Pinnock, and it's up over the halfway line.
The thing is with crosses for Liverpool is that it has to be perfect for Nunez, because he's the only real one in there you think is going to out-jump anyone and head it in. I mean, he is terrific in the air, but maybe too many crosses going. And keep working it, keep probing, stay patient, pin them back. Don't keep throwing it in there, because those three big centre-halves don't mind that.
There might be a reason for that, actually, Danny, and that is that, you know, despite being good and direct and long themselves, Brentford, they don't like crosses into the box from any method, really. 7 Premier League goals conceded from corners, 7 Premier League goals conceded from crosses, 7 Premier League headed goals conceded. So
they're crosses from a long way out, aren't they? I think they're coming from quite a long way out, but yeah, fair point.
Ball sent over the top for Visser to chase once again. Canate, a little bit unsettled, tries to turn away from Johan Visser and plays it back to Alisson, who's always reliable with his feet, but has given it straight to Yanal. And then that ball sent forward. Visser's got it again. Across comes Thiago. Offside flag has gone up against Johan Visser, who came back from an offside position anyway. And it's going to be a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. 1-0 to Brentford on Talksport with 9 minutes to go before the break. Just having a look at the Liverpool support over on the far side in the corner, and look a little bit subdued after what has been a couple of rather difficult moments at that end of the field. And they're away to our right hand side. Very difficult to get down here today, I would imagine, with all of the transport issues. Ball sent long and out towards the far side. Trent Alexander-Arnold into Fabinho. Liverpool always bring a good following wherever they go. Thiago into the penalty area, popped off the chest by Oxlade-Chamberlain. It's hooked towards goal by a Brentford defender, and David Raya takes charge and then moves it out towards this near side.
He's unlucky. Oxlade-Chamberlain changing his run. He's come off that left-hand side, ended up more central. Tried to sneak in from that blind side. It was a good ball from Thiago. It was unlucky.
Played a couple of games in the last week or so on that left-hand side, that position that will be threatened by Cody Gakpo over the course of the next few weeks. Hasn't yet trained with the team after not receiving his work permit. 45 million quid, but that fee will rise. He's very dynamic coming in from the left-hand side. He'll help lift any attack, and especially an attack that hasn't really fired on all cylinders this season.
Oh, he's a super talent, Sam, yeah. Quick, tall, both feet, can score with both feet, can head it. I mean, obviously with Diaz and Jota missing as well, it's going to give everyone a lift. His goals and assists, as you know, are very good. So yeah, he's going to be a really important addition to this squad. Great competition for places.
Handball being called upon by the Brentford support for Thiago. It seemed to flick up and hit his hand. Rico Henry is giving Trent Alexander-Arnold a hell of a time, and he's nabbed the ball. And now Mbeumo with a cross into the box, aimed towards Jensen. Tsimikas had to get there, does get there, flicks it behind. Good defending. It's away for a corner.
Good defending, Tsimikas on the back post. Very important. Got to be a bit stronger there, Trent. I mean, it's not the best ball on initially from Tsimikas to Trent, but Rico Henry gets there first again. And then it comes, I think, Mbeumo with the cross, back post. Tsimikas gets up nice and early. Really good defending on his back post. Caused Liverpool problems this first half, Brentford.
Just over 6 minutes to go before the break. And it's Brentford who lead by a goal to nil and have a corner away to our right-hand side. And Brian Mbeumo, the Cameroon international, who played a handful of minutes at the World Cup, will take it. Left-footed. It's deep towards the far post this time. Chested down by Visser, and he shoots it into the net. There was a deflection on the way through, but Visser is celebrating, running over to the corner flag. And once again, Brentford is showing they are frightened by no one. Alisson is complaining to Stuart Atwell, the referee. Darren Can is being berated by the Brazilian now, who says he was unsighted as that shot came in. Jurgen Klopp furious, but Liverpool's defending from corner kicks has been dreadful.
Well, it's a big one from Mbeumo this time. How you can chest the ball down and get a shot away in your own off a corner is beyond belief. Trent switches off, I'm afraid.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I think they're saying there's an offside. Did it come off Van Dijk first?
Yeah, it came off Canate and then off Ben Mee. I think this might be offside. This might be chalked off.
Well, depends, because if the ball, does it matter if it comes off Canate first or Van Dijk?
Only if he intentionally plays it. So that will be open to interpretation from the VAR.
The worrying thing for Liverpool
England.
is irrelevant of whether it's offside or onside. The fact is there's 3 corners and every one of them's ended up in the net.
Yeah, 3 corners and 3 goals.
But he's brought the ball down on his chest
with no one around.
No
Trent
one
Alexander-Arnold was the closest to him.
Trent switched off.
The defending from these set pieces has been very poor from Liverpool. It looks to me like it's offside, and I think VAR is going to confirm that. We're just waiting for Stuart Atwell to get that information. We've seen the lines that have suggested that is the case, and Stuart Atwell now slowly, rather dramatically, walks back towards the penalty area away to our right, blows the whistle. Hold on a second, he's just going to explain it to Matthias Jensen first of all, and then he's going to draw the square with his hands, and it is a free kick. So it remains just 1-0 to Brentford, although they've scored 3 goals.
I'm watching Jurgen Klopp on the. As soon as that goal went in, he was
giving it away again. And now here's Mbeumo down the right side, getting towards the edge of the penalty area once more. Onto Jensen, who's crossed towards the far post. Visser with a free header, and he's dragged away by the goalkeeper, but he's in. Goal given this time. Johan Visser scores. Brentford celebrates. Thomas Frank was convinced his team could get a result against Liverpool, and he may just be right. Dreadful again from Liverpool, playing out from the back, gifting Brentford an opportunity just moments after they'd had a goal chalked off, and now they do lead by 2 goals to 0.
Liverpool are all over the place, Sam. They are all over the place. Tsimikas is having a terrible evening, but they can't defend crosses. I mean, the ball's over the line. Technology tells us that anyway. It's a great ball in, by the way. But Liverpool give it away, and Mbeumo has been terrific. Got to try and stop the cross. Don't stop it. Janssen puts the ball in. He's onside. Good header down off the wet turf. And Alisson nearly gets it, gets Liverpool out of trouble, but it's what? Foot over, a bit less. They've deserved it. They really have. We haven't mentioned Ivan Toney once in this first half. That's the biggest compliment we can play to this Brentford side.
Absolutely. Johan Visser, who's got now 6 goals in 19 Premier League starts, was supposed to be the impact sub. There's certainly an impact here, and he's made it. So has Mbeumo. The 2 of them playing incredibly well, and Brentford doing what Brentford do to the big boys when they come to this corner of West London, and that's give them a bloody nose.
Well, he's fuming, Klopp.
Fuming, yeah.
The full-backs are struggling for Liverpool, they really are. Brentford getting great joy in wide areas, and especially set plays, of course. We've already spoken about that. But we talked, me and Abe, earlier about Henderson and his impact on this team. When he's not here, lack a bit of leadership, someone to give him a kick up the backside, someone to organise.
Well, we were talking about the way he gets over and helps Trent Alexander-Arnold out, but also...
But it's actually been more this left side. Tsimikas is struggling, and Ox has got to help him a bit better. This time it was Harvey Elliott helping him over here, but they still got the cross in, Sam.
But also it's his leadership, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the way he talks to the other players on the field of play. Here is Salah into the box trying to find Nunez, whose low cross is steered away, comes back out to Elliott, into the area looking for Tsimikas, whose header is straight at the goalkeeper and cleared away. Just over a minute to go before half-time. A dizzying first half for that Liverpool defence. And Alisson just looks to the heavens and then looks down at the floor, and he can't quite believe what has happened. They've had 3 corners, they put the ball in the net 3 times, and then from it, 2 of them were disallowed. From the second one that was disallowed, from the free kick from that, Liverpool gave the ball almost immediately straight back to Brentford, who went down the right, created another chance, and Visser, who had too much room for his finish just moments before that, got too much room again and scored what was eventually given as the second goal for Brentford.
Well, I'm picking out the fullbacks because they're struggling, but the centre-halves aren't crowning themselves in glory either. You know, the 2 centre-halves for Liverpool off the set plays are the dominant aerial figures, and they've not been there.
Well, they need a response in the second half, Liverpool, that is for sure. Remember that Brentford took a 2-goal lead against Tottenham on Boxing Day and threw it away.
Yeah.
So there is history of not particularly finishing things off, and it's recent history. But they've also been here before against one of the big boys. If you go back to the early part of the season, watch Brentford against Manchester United, which was a stunning game, especially in the first half. They were brilliant. They blitzed Manchester United in that first 45 minutes, and they've done exactly the same to Liverpool. And it could have been the same scoreline.
Could have been more. And look, we can talk about Liverpool's poor defending or marking on set plays. The fact is, Brentford have been outstanding. They've had runners going forward, defended well when Liverpool have had two chances. But they've ran forward without the ball with good intent. They've got men in the box. The quality of the crossing as well. Let's talk about that. That's been key. It's all well and good having good good numbers in the box, but when your crosses are so good, it's very hard to defend. But Liverpool, this isn't what we've seen from Liverpool. They're all over the place at times.
3 minutes of added time to play. You're listening to Brentford 2, Liverpool 0 on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. And it's been a blistering day in the EFL. Middlesbrough going great guns under Michael Carrick. They beat Birmingham today. Watford beat Norwich. Burnley won away at Swansea as they look set for a quick return, playing very good football in the Championship. Rock Bottom Wigan got hammered once again. Not a great period for Kolo Toure, but it's been brilliant on the this Bank Holiday Monday for Brentford so far. But Liverpool trying to finish the half strongly here. Mo Salah, square to Tsimikas. Tsimikas plays it out towards the left-hand side. It's given to Thiago. Thiago tries to square it into the box. It's away by Ben Mee and then picked up by Liverpool on the halfway line. Played in again towards Salah. Half cleared by Brentford. Liverpool have got it back again, but they trail by 2-0 here on Talksport. Konate wide to Trent Alexander-Arnold, back into Harvey Elliott once again. Elliott onto Virgil van Dijk, and Van Dijk just takes a couple of strides over the halfway line before feeding Thiago. Thiago comes infield. He looks for a bit of movement from Darwin Nunez and then plays it square. Fabinho wasn't alert to that. Johan Visser intervened, and Liverpool have to go back to their goalkeeper.
I think I'd be thinking of changes if I was Jurgen Klopp, just to send a message to the lads. It's unacceptable. I'd make 2 or 3. 2-0 to Liverpool, who are off it. Nunez plays the ball back towards Alexander-Arnold. It goes straight out of play, and it has been a very satisfactory first 45 minutes for this Brentford team. This Brentford team that have performed well whenever they've come up against some of the heavyweights of the league. Almost always. The Manchester City performance was brilliant because they were up and at them right from the very beginning and then kept going right to the very end. The performance against Manchester United similar to this one, where they've been an absolute blitz from set pieces and counter-attacks. There's the first half coming to a close, and what a first half it was for Brentford. Visser and Konate's own goals separating the two teams. Look, Brentford don't lose here very often. The only defeat they've suffered this season here was to a team that are currently running away with the league. Liverpool the latest to discover that this place is not just a bus stop in Hounslow at half-time. Brentford 2, Liverpool 0.
Wow, what a first half from the home side without their talisman, without their goal scorer Ivan Toney. Brentford have dominated. Could be 4, they've had 2 disallowed, but it is Brentford 2, Liverpool 0. And I'm just listening to your 45 minutes there, Danny Murphy. Yeah. Apparently it's because Jordan Henderson is missing. Is that right?
No, I think at times he's the one player I think of when he's not there that you miss the most because of his influence and his when you I don't know how many Liverpool games you've been to, but very often all you hear is his voice, organising, encouraging, kicking people up the backside. You need people on the pitch who let you know when you're not at it. I didn't see anyone. I was looking around after the second goal went in, or maybe the second disallowed goal went in, at somebody who was saying to people, why are you not marking him? You do better. You win the tackle. Somebody. And I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
Well, if I tell you that Thiago is the only senior midfielder Liverpool have signed for 4.5 years, I think that tells you a lot. When they keep on signing attacking players, they have, however, been linked with a move in this window for Mateus Nunes, the Wolves midfielder, for 40-odd million. I mean, that's just a report that's coming out today. Clearly, there's a problem there for Liverpool to address in midfield. We talked about midfield before the game, the midfield three. Does he even know his best midfield three? What we now know after that 45 is his best midfield three contains Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the more worrying thing, Aid, is if we leave the midfield conversation just for a second, because you made some good points. The basis of having a good defence and being hard to score goals is defending set plays, first and foremost. 3 corners. The ball's been in the net 3 times. Where's your communication? Where's your organisation? Now, of course, they're doing it on the training ground. Of course, you're going to set up before you play anyone, and especially Brentford. How are we going to deal with long throws? How are we going to deal with corners? Who's organising that out on the pitch? That's the concern. That's the thing I brought Henderson up. Not just because the midfield's struggling, because of that organisation of on-set plays, for example. It didn't seem to be there. I mean, they made a couple of chances. They always do, Liverpool, because they've got good players going forward. But the worrying thing is that the wide areas. Sometimes when you've got someone who's got brilliant skill and he's giving a fullback a tough time, you have to hold your hands up. But they're not stopping crosses. There's too many crosses gone in.
Okay, one of the joys of Liverpool is that their fullbacks get forward and they only play a 2 centre halves. Yeah. No, it's not even wing backs. Okay, it's a back 4 and their fullbacks get forward. That's why we love Trent. However, he said himself the other day, Trent Alexander-Arnold, he hasn't helped himself when it comes to the accusations he can't defend. If you look at, say, the goal that was disallowed where Visser chests it down and fires in, he's very lucky there, Trent, because he could see it all unfolding in front of him. It's like the Ollie Watkins goal for Villa on Boxing Day. Trent can see it all unfolding but doesn't react to it. And after the second goal, Trent steps forwards when there's no plan to play offside whatsoever. He steps forward for no reason, even though the ball is right in front of him. Eventually it goes over the line, 2-0. I'm not saying he's to blame for everything,
no,
but the defensive instinct isn't there, and at set pieces that comes to the fore. Even Virgil van Dijk looks exposed.
Well, deal with the first one. I mean, Trent at times switches off unbelievably for a defender that I can't explain. I've seen him, I mean, in some games he's always, for example, the Leicester game the other day, second half especially against Harvey Barnes, who's a tough competitor. He was switched on. He was always in the right place. One-on-one he defended quite well. He's capable. It's like he switches off. It's not like he can't do it. We know he can in certain games. We've seen him do it. He's set his standards high in his first couple of years and he's dropped below them. And it seems like at the moment in certain games his concentration just disappears. But he's not alone, you're right. The centre-halves have got to do better because they're the 2 big commanding figures in the box for corners. But overall, the whole tenacity of the side, the energy looks a bit low compared to what we know Liverpool have had in the past. Now, is that because of personnel or is it a mindset?
What we can say is that the Liverpool subs are out there warming up right now, and it's not just a stroll around, they're properly warming up. We haven't talked enough about Brentford, and we'll do in a moment. A quick one on them, because without their talisman, without their goal scorer, you're looking at who else is stepping up. Norgard looks like the kind of midfielder Liverpool need. He's been so impressive, been 10 out of 10.
Yes, absolutely terrific in every aspect of midfield play. Spotting danger, playing progressively, doing all the bits you expect a midfielder to with the quality on top. Absolutely superb performance from him, and exactly what Liverpool have missed tonight. But the other thing is the formation. Now we can, I love my tactics.
Yeah.
Initially, Brentford started on the back foot, and rightly so. You're playing Liverpool, bit of nerves. The line of 5 was too flat, giving up possession to Liverpool. And I thought, this could be a long evening. I don't know whether Thomas Frank shouted or what he did, but the wing backs went higher. Nico Henry started it earlier. I think he made one of his first great run he made. More positive, getting higher up the pitch. The Liverpool wide players not coming back with the wing backs, giving Liverpool's fullbacks a huge problem when they're attacking. But even when that tactical thing works out for Brentford and Liverpool are on the back foot, you can still get after people and close the ball down, and you can still track runners and still win headers. So the tactical thing is relevant to a point, but wherever you are on the pitch, the nearest man goes and makes blocks, goes and makes tackles. It's so easy for Brentford to put the ball in the box.
That's what they've done, and they've done it effectively. They've scored 2, they've had 2 disallowed. It's Brentford 2, Liverpool 0. You're listening to Monday Game Night on Talksport with Now Sports. Don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Brentford Liverpool live today for $11.99. No contract. Search Now Sports.
Monday Game Night on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Get your finance sorted first, then choose your car. Search Car Finance 24/7 today.
We all fantasize about our perfect home, sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, This isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
What does Asahi Super Dry taste like? Crisp, refreshing and always super dry. A taste as unexpected and surprising as modern Japan. That's right, Japan's #1 beer. Asahi Super Dry, beyond expected. Go to asahisuperdry.com to verify. Enjoy responsibly. Visit drinkaware.co.uk to find out more.
Hello, my friend. Life comes at you fast, so make time for you time with Just Eat. For early times, lunch times, late times, strange times. The perfect times for the McDonald's Sausage and Egg McMuffin, Five Guys Cheeseburger and Strawberry Shake, Domino's Pepperoni Passion, plus more from Costa Coffee, Creams Cafe and Pizza Express. So order now, later, in a bit, whenever. We got it.
Did somebody say Just Eat?
Product subject to availability in restaurant and serving times. Participating stores only. See justeat.co.uk for details.
The new season is here, and The Times on Saturday has all the big interviews, insightful analysis, and stats you need to set you up for a perfect weekend of Premier League action. Subscribe today at thetimes.co.uk/football for provocative and compelling opinions from the best sports writers in the business, including James Gibbrandt, Owen Slott, and the voice of football, Henry Winter.
Lovely bit of football.
Try it free for 1 month at thetimes.co.uk/football. Auto renews at £26 a month unless cancelled. T's and C's apply.
You what? You what? You what? You what? You what? You're not watching the big footy games in a pub and grill fan zone at Village Hotels? Who are ya? Premier League and big games on giant screens, stadium seats, great lineup of beers, and dirty burgers and bar snacks to tackle. Plus, win big game tickets, beer for a year, and other great prizes. Visit villagehotels.com/Talksport. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. Always drink responsibly. Who are ya?
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade quality building products. This month, we've got 20% off the trade price of all Rapid Plus self-assembly kitchen units. Now that's a real deal. Find even more real deals at Selco Builders Warehouse and online at selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
That charged at 20%.
This football season, get a hand from Betfair's popular Bet Builder and easily add our fan favourite football selections to your bet slip in just one tap. And you can get a £5 free bet when you place a £5 Bet Builder on Arsenal versus Newcastle. How handy is that? Betfair.
Max £5 free bet builder valid for 72 hours. Cash bets only. Exclusions, minimum combined odds and conditions apply. 18 plus begambleaware.org.
Monday game night on Talksport with a Now Sports membership. Stream the Premier League live for just £20 a month for 6 months without a contract. Offer ends 5th of January. Search Now Sports 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Game day. A broadcasting dynamo of supercharged Premier League football coverage.
Tucked into the near post.
Game day kickoff on Talksport.
Live at Brentford, who are leading Liverpool by 2-0. Straight after this, we've got commentary of QPR against second in the Championship, Sheffield United. Let's go to Loftus Road. Perry Groves is there. How you doing, Perry?
Hello, Abe.
I'm going to quickly run through what's happened in the Championship today. What a division. Burnley 6 points clear after a 2-1 win at Swansea. Both goals from their wing-back Ian Martin. By the way, if you haven't seen Burnley since they're in the Premier League, you won't recognise them. Michael Carrick's Borough 5th after a 3-1 win at Birmingham. Watford 4th after a late winner at Norwich, who haven't got a manager. Wigan bottom battered 4-1 at home by Hull. Preston got a late winner at Stoke, who can't put anything together, and another win for Carlos Corberán at West Brom. They beat Reading 1-0. Daryl Dike with the only goal. West Brom, remember where they were when Steve Bruce left? Well, they're 9th in the table, just a point off the top 6. And Perry, that's the key. Before we talk about Sheffield United, doesn't look good, the table, from QPR's point of view, because they're 15th, but they're only 4 points off the top 6. That's how tight things are.
It always is in the Championship, Aid, isn't it? A couple of wins, you can get you right back in there. And to be fair to QPR, they've actually fallen off a cliff, haven't they? They had the sort of the Michael Beale situation, didn't he, where he was courted by Wolves, and then he said he was going to stay at QPR, 100% behind the project. How could he leave when he's asked the players to buy into him? And then obviously 3 weeks later, off he goes. So I was actually here, Aid, for when they played Huddersfield, when that rot was sort of setting in, because there was a lot of uncertainty behind the scenes, and then that transmitted itself onto the pitch. So Neil Critchley, he's 1-1 drawn and lost one, but the home defeat here against Luton, they're right between both 18-yard boxes, and he wants to play on the front foot and excite this Loftus Road crowd. They didn't do that against Luton.
Well, I've got to say, the stats were okay for QPR. You're right, the finishing was terrible. Lyndon Dykes missed a sitter, but the Luton goals were spectacular, so not a lot they could do about those. But it's 4 straight home defeats. And against Sheffield United, you want back QPR. Top 2 are breaking away, and Sheffield United need to win this, or Burnley will be breaking away from them. Yeah, very much so. And if you look at Sheffield United, they've got players that they enjoy playing in the Championship. They're probably too good, aren't they, for the Championship? You've got Berger, Norwood, who I love watching play, who plays in that sort of centre midfield role, and if you're going to stop Sheffield United from playing, he's like the quarterback, Aid, where you have to go and sort of close him down. And the young lad James McAtee from Man City, you said about the goals, his goal against Blackpool, I don't know if you've seen it. I have, length of the field, amazing.
It's 18-yard box to 18-yard box, and I know that QPR, they backed off, Blackpool backed off, but when he gets into the 18-yard box, it's that coolness, when you've got lactic acid in your muscles, in your quads, and he just calms himself down. He side puts it past the goalkeeper. Absolutely different class. So, and I was reading a quote from their manager Paul Heckingbottom, who was saying that he's got very talented players. They're got a lot of skill. They've got game changers, but they all work their socks off. And if they didn't work off the ball, they wouldn't be in the team. So that's football is not really rocket science, Aid, is it really?
No, it isn't. Perry, looking forward to joining you. I'll be coming straight there after this game is
Have you got a fast car or a fast bike?
I've got fast legs, believe it or not.
I would love to be that important to be able to get a fast car or a fast bike.
No, I have neither.
Rickshaw.
I have neither. There's a bus, I think. We're at a bus stop in Hounslow, so why not? QPR against Sheffield United coming up live on Talksport when this one here is done. Brentford 2-0 up. I think Joel Matip will be coming on. But before the teams come out for the second half, let's preview the PDC World Championship semi-finals darts. Alexandra Palace, Abby Davis.
Yeah, for the 4th time in history, we have 4 different nationalities represented in the semi-finals of the PDC World Championship. Michael Smith takes on Gabriel Clemens, the first German to make it to this stage. He's been so consistent throughout this tournament, a running average just shy of 97, slightly higher than Bully Boys, and he's certainly shown that he's got the bottle. As for our second semi, the tournament favourite, mighty Michael van Gerwen, he's averaged over a ton in 14 of the 19 sets he's played. We're live with all the build-up and full commentary from 7 p.m. over on Talksport 2.
Well, Liverpool are out early. They're going to make some changes. Sam Atterface will tell you about those in just a moment. Sam has been telling you, rightly so, that Arsenal, the only team to win here at Brentford in the Premier League this season. In fact, though, 2 visiting teams have been successful here this season. They couldn't be more extreme. Runaway Premier League leaders Arsenal won. The others, Gillingham, bottom of the 92, who won in the Cup here on penalties. I was here for that one. Liverpool have got a lot of work to do if they're to become the 3rd team to come away from here successful, celebrating and victorious. Brentford are coming out. Liverpool are already out. It's Brentford 2, Liverpool 0. It's live and exclusive and only on Talksport with Danny Murphy and Sam Atterface.
Joel Matip, Andrew Robertson and Naby Keita form the rescue party for Liverpool. I can't see Virgil van Dijk or Kostas Tsimikas, and the other one who's not come out for the second half is Harvey Elliott. Danny Murphy.
Well, I think 3 subs was the right way to go. I don't know if Van Dijk's actually got something wrong or not. Well, none of them players, I don't know, but I would be surprised if Virgil came off because of performance. But anyway, Robertson was an obvious one. Tsimikas was really struggling. Lots of joy for Brentford down the Liverpool left-hand side, so that was obvious. And we didn't see too much of Harvey Elliott, did we? So Keita, more experienced, a bit more athletic maybe in terms of the defensive role that you need in the middle of the park. Yeah, right thing to do by Jurgen Klopp. Anybody could have come off, really.
Well, Liverpool's New Year headaches are stronger than most. Only twice in 8 years have they won their opening fixture of a calendar year, and they are 2-0 down at half-time here. Brentford haven't beaten Liverpool for 84 years. Not many remember Jack Holliday's double at Griffin Park in 1938. But I heard that day Adrian Durham did the match and then went off to a game at Queen's Park Rangers straight afterwards, as he will do here in the next hour or so. 2-0, and Brentford looking to win yet again on home turf and stop one of the big boys from playing. Liverpool, who have made 3 changes, now have Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Matip and Robertson the back 4, Keita, Fabinho and Thiago in midfield, with Salah, Nunez and Oxlade-Chamberlain as the 3-pronged attack. For Brentford, it's David Raya in goal, Roerslev, Zanka, Pinnock, Mee and Henry. Zanka's been booked, Janelt, Norgard and Jensen, Visser and then Burma up front. The goals coming from an own goal from Ibrahima Konate in that first half from a corner kick. Visser scoring one as well. But here comes Robertson down the left-hand side, a ball into the box, looking for Darwin Nunez. Good covering that by Ethan Pinnock, who watched the ball come across the face of his penalty area, and it's steered behind and away for the first corner of the second half, and it's a Liverpool corner.
Good run from Robertson, wasn't it? Really good intent, good pace. Whizzed it across the goal for Nunez to get a tap in. Was good defending. I think it was Pinnock. Or Zanka, sorry.
Yeah, Pinnock who got back there and steered it behind. Corner comes in towards Konate, headed forward by Oxlade-Chamberlain, back across the face of goal to Salah, who shanks it, but he was offside anyway, and it's out for a free kick to Brentford away from our right-hand side. Liverpool's season has been stuttering and spluttering since the word go. Injuries certainly have played their part, but they've posted the fewest wins, fewest points, most defeats and worst goal difference than at any stage of the other 6 Premier League seasons that Jurgen Klopp has been in full control.
Yeah, it's a concern for him, definitely. So many seasons we've seen Liverpool destroy teams, look good defensively and also great in attack, but they haven't got that balance right at the moment, that's for sure. Fascinating to see what Brentford do after that. Oh, he's in.
Ball over the top by Thiago. And Nunez trying to get away from Pinnock into the area, scoops it over the top of goalkeeper Raya and scores. And Liverpool very quickly back in the game. Keita, Thiago wave the forwards back, tell them to stop celebrating. There's a job to be done here. And Liverpool have got 1 foot back on the ladder as they attempt to climb back to parity against Brentford.
I think they're asking for a free. Oh, he looks offside.
He's offside. I think he's offside. I think Nunez is about half a yard offside.
I think he is. What a brilliant finish, though. Typical. I mean, when you looks out, isn't it? He can't finish. He gets himself in on his so-called weaker foot. Brilliant finish, and he looks like he's half a yard.
Well, they're asking the Liverpool players for an indication from the bench, and Jurgen Klopp is saying that he doesn't know. It's very tight, but it looked from the first angle that we saw that he was half a yard offside. They'll have to draw the lines and do their calculations. We're looking at it, we think it's offside. The assistant referee, Darren Cann, didn't flag on this occasion. Usually very eagle-eyed, Darren Cann, but even that was too tight for him. Stuart Atwell has got the notification. The goal's been chalked off. It's still 2-0 to Brentford. And still the wait goes on for Darwin Nunez, who got 9 goals in his first 18 games for Liverpool, but hasn't scored in any of his last 3. Not scored since November the 12th when he hit 2 against Southampton.
Well, it's an unusually high line from Brentford. We didn't see that after the first mistake they made in the first 5 minutes when he missed that chance, Nunez.
Absolutely. And it'll be interesting to see whether or not that little warning that they've got there makes them retreat once again.
It was a good ball, wasn't it, from Thiago? It's always a balance when you're 2-0 up. Do you go and press and stay on the front 4? Do you play a bit more percentages and keep your counsel if you like and keep men back, be a bit more pragmatic? It's always a difficult dilemma.
Was such a good finish from Darwin Nunez as the ball goes deep into Liverpool's half of the field now. Matip, who's on as a second half substitute, takes charge. It's cleared away by Roerslev towards halfway, and then it's hooked behind by Mee towards the Brentford penalty area. Danny Murphy's just turned to me and said, "It's chilly, isn't it?" Yeah, just a bit. Here's Robertson over on the left-hand side, picked up by Nunez. That's why I bought this big coat.
Well, my last 12 games, or last 10, 11, 12 games I've done, I've been in Doha.
Yeah, the temperature's a little bit different here, Dan. Here's Alexander-Arnold.
I knew I shouldn't have awarded.
Left-footed cross into the centre. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain rises and glances the ball in beautifully. From the edge of the 6-yard box, it's a stunning delivery from Trent Alexander-Arnold. With his left foot, he curled the ball towards the cusp of the 6-yard box, and it was flicked in by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's run into the penalty area. Couldn't have been timed any better, and it's 2-1.
Well, it's poor defending from Brentford. Brilliant ball from Trent. Ox coming in off that left side, in swinger, Trent's left foot. Game on. That's the overcovering from the wing-backs again I was talking about in the first half. Rico Henry doesn't need to follow Salah in there. He can stay out here and go and pick the full-backs up when they come.
51 minutes on the clock. It's just 6 minutes into the second half, and Liverpool had the ball in the net twice. They're not level, but a bit like Brentford in that first 45. They've been stunning at the start of the second, and those 3 changes have certainly made a difference. Coming out in the second half, Robertson, who came off the bench, is wearing the captain's armband, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who actually has played quite well even in the first half, with a couple of really good jinking runs, has got his reward on his 100th Premier League appearance today for Liverpool. A glancing header beyond David Raya, and it's 2-1 to Brentford. So work to be done again now for the home team. They've got to be a little bit cautious. Remember, they threw away a 2-goal lead during the Boxing Day match, and the good news for Liverpool is that they have recovered so many points from losing positions over the course of this season, and they're coming forward again now.
We talked about intensity, energy, urgency, all those words. Definitely more urgency about this Liverpool performance second half. Straight away, the ball's getting zipped about much more quickly. People are on the front foot more.
Half an hour against Leicester for Naby Keita, and 24 minutes against Villa. His only Premier League minutes of the season so far, but he's on in this second half and looking to add a little bit of bite to midfield. His ball that was just flicked round the corner by the Brentford defence has gone out for a throw-in deep inside Brentford territory. Stuart Atwell just wanted a word with Matthias Jensen as the ball is about to be tossed in by Trent Alexander-Arnold, the creator of the first Liverpool goal here on this cold, chilly evening in West London. Kanate scooping the ball forward, looking for Salah to chase. In behind him, Burmo wins it from Rico Henry and then cuts back in towards Alexander-Arnold. Another good cross into the box, which is too close to the goalkeeper this time, and Nunez can't get on the end of it. It's grabbed by David Raya and cleared away by Brentford. 2-1.
Yeah, the key for Brentford with their defending, as we saw in the first half, was making sure their wing-backs are brave enough to go and press the full-backs when they're high of Liverpool to stop the crosses. Otherwise it becomes really difficult for them.
And Burmo from Mads Roerslev's little flick on after David Raya dispatched upfield. It's good touch by Burmo out towards the right, and Matthias Jensen, who's trying to get the better of Andrew Robertson, finding that a little bit more difficult than the task that they were up against in the first half, where Tsimikas was getting beaten too easily down that right side, and it's out for a throw-in over on the far touchline and away in Brentford's hands once again. It'll be tossed in by Jensen. 8 minutes gone second half, 2-1 to Brentford, but Liverpool have started this second half with jet-fueled intention, and they've had the ball in the net twice, but only one has counted. The ball thrown short to Janol, and then back towards Jensen, whose ball into the near post is tucked behind by Darwin Nunez, when he could have left that for the goalkeeper.
He could have done, but if you're not sure, don't do it.
And he goes out for another corner, and bearing in mind that Liverpool have struggled a little bit from Brentford corners, there will be a little bit of nervousness amongst those on the Liverpool bench.
Do you know what's strange though? The 3 corners they got all end up the back of the net. It was Mbeumo left foot in swingers, and they've decided to go out swingers on this second half.
Yep,
I'd have stuck with it, to be honest.
Jensen's going to take this one, slightly different, and it's deeper towards the far post. Ben Mee heads it back across the face of goal, and it's going to run through the penalty area and not reach any of their intended targets, but the ball is bouncing over the head of Rico Henry, and he does just about enough to stop Mo Salah from getting hold of it. But he was panicking a little bit there, Rico Henry, with the pace of the Egyptian bearing down upon him. Here is Joel Matip winning the ball in the air, chesting it down and prodding it through towards Naby Keita, who runs through the centre circle, easily passes Jensen, but can't get the ball out wide. It's blocked by Roerslev. And Burmo in a tight area, trapped by Thiago, works it wide to the left, and Rico Henry, and then Henry back to Ben Mee, and Brentford look to clear once again. 55 on the clock. Fabinho stepping in, winning the ball, lovely little turn in midfield, gets away from Norgard, then tries to shoot towards the far corner, prodded away by the hands and the fingertips of David Raya, and pushed out to the far side. We've got a game on our hands now, that's for sure.
Good play, 1 Fabinho. Nice little pivot turn in the middle of the pitch, powering forward, didn't have a great strike, but made the keeper save. It was good, it was positive.
Matip strides out of defence of the ball. He's wearing gloves tonight. Alexander-Arnold taps it back in field. Thiago takes it on. 2-1 Brentford lead in the Brentford Community Stadium in the Premier League tonight. More Championship commentary to come later on today. QPR against Sheffield United straight at the conclusion of this match, and then tomorrow night Manchester United Bournemouth, Aston Villa against Wolverhampton Wanderers, a bit of a grudge match on Wednesday night. Friday night we've got Manchester United Everton for you, starting out a wonderful array of FA Cup commentaries. Ball played down the left hand side intelligently by Thiago into Nunez, then back out to the far side and Andrew Robertson back to Thiago, who didn't make the Spain squad. Infield it goes to Fabinho, and then Thiago, that was late on Johan Visser, and he's going to get a yellow card. After a sloppy pass forward, he then tried to react, and as Brentford threatened to go forward, he took emergency action.
Yep. Kind of inevitable. You have to make that tackle when one of your teammates makes a mistake and there's a counter on. Done Fabinho a favour there, Thiago.
Yeah, it was Thiago's ball into Fabinho, and then the ball back to him, which was the sloppy one from Fabinho. And as a result of that, a free kick and a yellow card dished out. And Virgil van Dijk sitting on the bench at the back row of the Liverpool bench. You can only think, really, if they're taking him off, he must have had some sort of problem at half-time.
Well, unless Jurgen Klopp's setting an example that anybody can be taken off and anybody can be dropped, you never know.
And certainly the way that Brian Mbeumo got away from him for the chance which led to the corner for the first goal will live long in the memory. Poor old Virgil van Dijk might have sleepless nights about that.
Well, it wasn't a straight race, to be honest. He was caught going forward as Mbeumo was going the other way, but I know what you mean. I mean, sometimes managers remember certain things in a game where they just think their player's not at it, but we'll find out, won't we, after the game, I'm sure, whether Virgil had a little injury or a problem with something.
Alexander-Arnold delivering a ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box for Liverpool to attack. Salah goes up towards it. It's headed away by Ethan Pinnock, and it's out for a throw-in for Liverpool, level with the edge of the penalty area. Trent Alexander-Arnold takes it, then releases the ball back to Matip. Matip sends it wide, out towards Keita. Keita forward, into Alexander-Arnold again. Liverpool trying to fight back from 2-0 down here. Coming up towards the hour mark. Konate strides forward, looks up, plays it square, onto Alexander-Arnold once again. He sends the ball forward, takes a deflection, a nasty one really, which could have outfoxed David Raya, but he just about dealt with that, landed on the ball, and he will clear away. And Thomas Frank, who's in deep conversation with Brian Riemer down in front of us, trying to work out what to do next tactically to try and solve the issues that Liverpool posed, the questions that Liverpool posed in this second half.
Well, they're certainly putting crosses in the box still, Liverpool. I mean, I know I talked about the 3 centre-halves earlier, but they've shown they can cause problems with the good quality, and Oxlade-Chamberlain's definitely closer to Nunez when that ball's going in now as well.
It's another headed goal that Brentford have conceded too. Robertson, wide left for Liverpool, who trail by 2-1. On to Fabinho. Fabinho in centre field, plays it to Matip. Matip looks up and tries to see an available pass. He can't find one, so goes backwards of square into Keita and then back towards the left-hand side and Alexander-Arnold. Now they're on the halfway line, retreating a little bit here. Liverpool under a bit of pressure from the press of Brentford, and Jensen has gone wiring in on Thiago over on the far side. He's shown Jensen a clean pair of heels, and it was an intelligent bit of play by Thiago, and the ball eventually works its way to Darwin Nunez, who works it wide to the left, and Andy Robertson back into Thiago. Thiago to Salah, to Fabinho on the edge of the box now. Right side is Salah once again. Everybody backpedaling in red and white, but here is Trent Alexander-Arnold getting free to get a cross in towards the far post. There was a bit of a pull back there. It comes back to Thiago, strike, and then again tries to side foot the ball. Goldwoods takes a deflection, goes behind and out for a corner. And there may well be a little glance from the VAR as to what was happening when that first cross came in.
Nothing in that, but it was patient play from Liverpool, probing, switching the ball one side to the other, in then out, waiting for opportunity. Salah and Trent linking up. It was good play.
Alexander-Arnold in towards the near post, and it's headed away by Matthias Jorgensen, then headed down by Norgard out towards the left, looking for a high ball which Salah is chasing after, but it's away by Brentford, and Johan Visser is turning away from trouble, but then running into a bit more. Eventually it's cannon clear by Ben Mee. Seems to be all hands to the pump at the moment for Brentford, who are just under the cosh a little bit here. Liverpool coming forward, but they've given the ball away sloppily, and now Jensen has tossed it up for another foot race. Visser going towards it. Matip's going to get there first. Liverpool back in possession again. There's going to be a change here, I think, for Brentford in the next few moments. 61 on the clock. You're listening to Talksport. That's a poor back pass by Henry, who was absolutely terrific in the first half, but has looked a little bit unsettled in the second.
Well, they just lost their composure a little bit. It's that extra pass. Someone's got to take responsibility. Someone like Norgard in the middle of the pitch, just stay calm, get the passes in, otherwise it's going to be a long half for them. Great. Got a free kick though.
A little bit of attention being given to Christian Norgard, just in front of his own penalty area. You know how important he is, and that's why they don't want to lose him. He's back on his feet, just stamping out one or two of his little ailments, and then he will get going again. It's a free kick to Brentford, just in front of their own penalty area. It was a cracking game here between the two last season. 6 goals, including a late Johan Visser equaliser. Truly stunning game that I think captured the imagination of many a neutral, actually. It was an edge of your seat encounter, and this one's on a knife edge now as well.
They're great to watch, Brentford. They mix the game up well. They play with good energy. As you said about their terrific home record, it's not coincidence that big teams come here and struggle. This is a team that has a nice balance of quality and tenacity and organisation.
Perslock's done brilliantly over on the far side, and probably was a little unlucky not to get a free kick as he managed to wriggle free of the grasp and the grip put on him by Robertson and Oxlade-Chamberlain. They get it up to Jensen, who just can't quite poke it through to Johan Visser, but the press is on here, and Alisson was a little bit unsettled by the presence of Mbeumo, and Trent Alexander-Arnold certainly was by Janelt, who's knocked it out of play on this near side. 2-1 to Brentford. And they might need the crowd now.
That was better. Yeah, they do need the crowd, you're right, it helps. Certainly helps when a team's playing better and you can't get much of the ball. Encourage you, every tackle, every run.
Alexander-Arnold with a throw on this near side. You're listening to Talksport. Sam Manifest and Danny Murphy on commentary duty tonight. And tomorrow night we've got Manchester United, Bournemouth, and Wednesday night Aston Villa against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Thomas Frank just trying to organise his troops from inside the technical area, thrown in by Alexander-Arnold up towards the bustling figure, the brawny figure of Darwin Nunez, with his hair scraped back and tied up in a small half ponytail. Cleared away by Ben Mee, up to Janelt, onto Visser. Visser on halfway, goes past Trent Alexander-Arnold, just runs out of room, trying to spin him behind the Liverpool defence. Another quick-witted, quick-heeled forward player, and they picked up for cheap and have turned into a Premier League player.
I think it's so important now about the 5 subs, how you use them, when you use them, the energy they can give you at a time when the team's flat. It's going to be huge that in the next 10-15 minutes, you feel, with Thomas Franks and his Brentford subs.
Yeah, I think that certainly is something that he is looking at now. There are 5 substitutes warming up away to our left-hand side, including Josh Da Silva, who was a little bit surprised not to see from the start today. He is a really talented guy. Here is Keita playing a 1-2 with Fabinho, getting to the edge of the area, looking for Nunez, cut out by Ethan Pinnock, and then Janelt felt he was fouled as he tried to get the ball away. It took a little flick off the Liverpool shirt last, and it goes out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
The encouraging thing for Jurgen Klopp's second half, of course you expect the reaction, but Brentford haven't really troubled Liverpool at all yet. Their energy's dropped in terms of their attacking play.
Well, Virgil van Dijk has never been subbed off unless injury has forced him to do so in a Premier League game for Liverpool. We shall find out when we speak to Jurgen Klopp a little bit later what the reasons were behind it. He came off as a sub in a 3-0 win over Southampton on the 22nd of October in 2018. The last time he was subbed was in that Merseyside derby when he was injured by Jordan Pickford 10 minutes in. But it is a very rare occurrence to see him off the pitch, that is for sure, when he's available for Liverpool. taken off at half-time today, one of 3 substitutions for Jurgen Klopp at the break, which have helped just raise the temperature of his team. But they're not back level yet. It's still 2-1 to Brentford.
Don't envy you, Sam, if you have to interview Mr. Klopp if they don't get back into this game.
Oh, it'll be Declan McCarthy tonight doing that job, I'm afraid. I'm sure he's going to pull me to one side and say, do you fancy it? 66 minutes gone. Ball sent long by Thiago. It's up towards Salah, tucks it around the corner into Darwin Nunez. Thiago plays it wide to the left. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's scored his first goal since January, sends the ball out towards the left-hand side. Back in it goes, into the feet of Keita. Keita into Salah, and then back towards Keita, and then the ball came back of a Brentford player towards David Raya, and he spooned it behind, and it goes out for a corner.
Made a difference, Keita. He's getting on the ball. He's going to demand it.
Another corner for Liverpool. Can they make the most of this as it comes in from the left-hand side? Andrew Robertson is going to deliver it, an out-swinger. Trying to cut the ball in towards the near post, but it's cleared away by Norgard, who gets in there well and manages to nudge it clear. Up towards Mbeumo, back to Norgard, who thunders it into the evening sky. Drops on halfway. Keita, I think, was aware of the presence of Visser, but he was under real pressure as he played that back to Alisson, and he did so well. Robertson, back to Thiago, then out to Robertson once again. And Liverpool building the attack once more through Thiago, flicking the ball from left side out towards the right. Alexander-Arnold takes it down. He then nudges the ball infield to a centre midfield position for Keita, who's becoming more and more influential. Clips it forward into the edge of the box. It's away by Ben Mee, and it's a bit of a rearguard action now. It's a long time to do that for Brentford.
Yeah, that's the composure I'm talking about. He had time, Mee, there to just bring the ball down and pick out one of his teammates.
Here is Matip striding into opposition territory, a little over from Oxlade-Chamberlain, and the ball aimed down the left by Thiago. It's then thundered out across the floor by Mads Roerslev, taking no chance in the right full-back position. Liverpool in the attack again, 2-1 the score. 17,163 here today on Bank Holiday Monday. I think it's Bank Holiday Monday. I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely a Monday, I think.
You do lose track, don't you, over this Christmas period,
yeah.
Especially with so many games.
Absolutely. Alexander-Arnold sends the ball into the box, looking for Darwin Nunez, who's moving out towards the left-hand side. It's cleared away and up towards the halfway line. Canate stills in before Mbeumo can get there, and it's out for a throw-in over on the far side. You're listening to Talksport, and we're live at the Brentford Community Stadium, where currently it's Brentford 2, Liverpool 1 on Talksport with Now Sports. And don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Brentford versus Liverpool live right now for $11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. 25% possession Brentford have had in this game to Liverpool's 75. 9 shots to Liverpool's 12. Both have had 6 on target, but it's 2-1 to Brentford. Away by Norgard, up towards the halfway line. It's brought down and away by Thiago, and then Oxlade-Chamberlain flicks it into the box. A header into the air by Pinnock is grabbed gleefully by David Raya, and he will clear the ball away and upfield.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be some action on the bench at Brentford. Rightly so. The energy's dropped. Understandably, there's been a lot of games. These lads have worked tremendously hard this evening to get some fresh legs, some energy out there, try and turn this tide, because they are dropping deeper and deeper at the moment, Brentford.
Yep. And it's understandable, as you say, because of the amount of activity they've had to get through in the last week or so. A lot of these players played in a lot of those games. Here is Salah running forward through the heart of the midfield, tucks it out towards the right. Darwin Nunez angles tight, drags it through the 6-yard box. And it's well wide of the target, but the movement was good, and the combination between those two, that little flare-up is happening. It will come good, you can see it.
He snatched at that, though. He really did. He's sometimes when you have too long to think, he's building himself on, he snatches at it, tries to hit it too hard.
Yeah, he dragged that right the way through the 6-yard box, didn't he? And didn't trouble Brentford at all. The 2 changes incoming for Brentford are about to take place. But we can go off to Loftus Road, where team news comes from Talksport's Alex Crook.
2 changes for Queen's Park Rangers from the side hammered by Luton last time out. Osman KK and Chris Willett come in for Laird and Shodipo. 3 changes for Sheffield United. Baldock, Egan and Doyle in. Out go Robinson, McAtee and Bogle.
And Buemo breaking away on the right-hand side. Decent cross into the box, headed down by Trent Alexander-Arnold, who did his defensive duties well there, got in front of Johan Visser and cleared away. That Queen's Park Rangers game against Sheffield United, live with Perry Groves and Alex Crook. Was he on a January sale 2-for-1 bargain deal? Because he was on this morning, wasn't he? Adrian will be there as well.
Visser looks tired. I think he's gone. I think he'll be the one coming off. He struggled getting in the box there. Janelt was behind Trent, actually. It was a good header from Trent.
Brentford have the advantage in the game, but Liverpool have the ball. And it's 2-1. Here is Thiago, out towards the far side, looking for Robertson, who's broken the lines with a decent run down that left side. There's a little bump off the ball by Roeslav. Might have been a foul, that, but the corner has been given, and Brentford need to get set, despite their complaints to Stuart Atwell falling on deaf ears. And the header goes into the air, and then I think there was probably a push there from Robertson. This will be controversial. If they were to get an equaliser from this. Ball in towards the far post, headed away by Pinnock, and then the referee gives a free kick. And I wonder whether or not that might happen, having already giving maybe he's had a second thought about the initial corner that he'd given.
2 wrongs don't make a right, Sam. Never been taught that.
I don't believe in the philosophy, that's the difference. Oh, there's a yellow card came out there. Was that for Darwin Nunez?
I think so.
He just had a little push on Roeslav off the ball, and he's got to be so careful, this fella, because he got sent off earlier in the season against Crystal Palace when you and I were there, Danny, and he lost his temper very quickly in that game.
He did.
Substitutions taking place, and Matthias Jensen is going to come off, and on comes Josh Da Silva, who scored on Friday against West Ham United. I think he is a very good player, once of Arsenal. And he's been a regular since returning from injury. Maybe they're just protecting him just a little bit. And Keane Lewis Potter is also coming on. And as you predicted, it's Johan Visser who is coming off because of tiredness, I would have thought. So 2 changes for Brentford as they look to try and freshen things up. It might give them a little bit more solidity in midfield with Da Silva in there. He's more of a physical presence than Jensen, but he can play as well and he can hit them. 3 goals this season.
I think the more stop-start they can make it, Brentford, the more scrappy, the better. Because Liverpool are going to dominate the ball now by the looks of it, chasing the game.
Two subs so far for Brentford, 3 for Liverpool. They were all made at half-time. And there are still options off the bench for Jurgen Klopp. Fabio Carvalho is one of those. I wonder whether or not we might see him in the not-too-distant future. Here is Oxlade-Chamberlain forward towards Darwin Nunez. Nunez getting hold of the ball and running at Pinnock. He's on the left-hand side, moves in towards the edge of the area, then tries to slip the ball into the path of Oxlade-Chamberlain. It was well defended and cleared away by Vitaly Janelt and up over the halfway line. 16 and a bit minutes to go. You're listening to Talksport. 2-1 to Brentford in the Premier League. Later on, it's QPR against Sheffield United with Alex Crook and Perry Groves. Tomorrow, we've got Manchester United Bournemouth. Wednesday night, it's Aston Villa against Wolves. And Friday night, we've got live commentary of Manchester United against Everton, the first of our FA Cup avalanche of commentaries over the weekend. We're looking forward to that. Make sure you join us. Download the Talksport app. You can flick between Talksport and Talksport 2. You can just ask your smart speaker to play Talksport. Here on the right side, the ball is with Mo Salah, trying to turn away from Rico Henry. He's got the ball under control and played it infield towards Joel Matip. Matip square. All the football being played in the Brentford half of the field now, and all the football being played by Liverpool in this second half. But they're still behind. Can they get themselves back into it? It's played out towards the right, looking for Mo Salah. Salah into the box. Keita, Alexander-Arnold couldn't get it out of his feet, and it runs past him and towards the edge of the penalty area where Rico Henry smashes it clear. Another good bit of play from Mo Salah down that left-hand side to get the ball into Keita. Just as a little bit heavy, the wall pass back to Alexander-Arnold, was it? Or actually, did he just miscontrol it? I think he maybe just didn't realise how quickly it was coming at him.
It's been a good battle, hasn't it, down that side? Nico Henry's been terrific. Salah's obviously, he always looks a threat. He's on good goal-scoring form recently. But overall, you have to say Nico Henry's done a terrific job.
Mo Salah, who has scored in the League Cup against Manchester City, scored against Aston Villa as well. Josh Da Silva has just been the victim of a head clash. Thiago going up and heading the back of his bonnet, and it's going to be a free kick 10 yards short of the halfway line to Brentford, who again will take as much time as possible over the restart. And David Raya is going to come all the way out of his goal to run up to within 10 yards of the halfway line to get this forward, so he better be pretty accurate with it. Not too bad to his feet, the Spanish goalkeeper, who's made the most saves in the Premier League this season. Right-footed, he sends it forward out towards the left-hand side, looking for Ethan Pinnock, who's up from the back. He heads it high into the air. It drops inside the Liverpool penalty area, and Keita gets it back to Matip, who's being pressed by Vitaly Janelt. Janelt really causing him a problem, and Pinnock backing him up, and now they've won it in the left corner of the field. A back heel from Ben Mee when he needed a simple pass to Norgard. He's been helped out by Matip, who's given it to Norgard anyway. He tries to slip it down the left channel, looking for the run of Mbeumo, but Fabinho was there to fill in for Matip. They've given the ball away though, and Josh Da Silva has got it back, the substitute. He plays it infield. It was inaccurate, his pass, and Fabinho's immediately tried to release Nunez. Nunez has hesitated slightly, but he's offside anyway, I think. And the referee is going to allow play on, is he? No, he's going to give a free kick to Brentford.
It's decent effort though from Fabinho. Won the ball back. Saw Nunez on the shoulder, played it quickly. Yard or two in it, was the right decision, offside, but it was nice and positive that from Fabinho. Exactly what you need as a forward midfielder, looking for you quickly. Sorry, go on, Sam.
The Liverpool need to raise their game, don't they, Danny? Because they've already dropped 20 points in their 16 Premier League matches this season. That's just 2 points fewer than the whole of 21-22.
It's an incredible contrast, isn't it? I mean, I was just going to say, it's although it's been a decent reaction, should never be in this position in the first place. Giving themselves an absolute mountain to climb with poor defensive decisions, lack of concentration. Although they've still got time to get themselves out the mire, because Brentford are fading a little bit. They're not keeping the ball very well, and the attacks are coming one after the other.
Liverpool usually enjoy their trips to the capital. But this is a ground that they have never won at. Here's Nunez. Not many Premier League grounds that Liverpool haven't won at. This is one of them. Here's Vitaly Janelt, and he's testing the pace of Konate with the ball down the right side to Brian Mbeumo, who showed a clean pair of heels to Virgil van Dijk in the first half, but he wasn't getting away from Konate.
No. I mean, Konate is lightning quick. To be fair, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because Alisson does what he does best, so aware and quick off his line. Excuse me, so many times we see Alisson in that good position. He makes it look so easy, so effortless. He's just really good at that. His distances are very good.
He's brilliant with his feet as well.
Yeah.
As well as his hands. His hands are pretty handy. Made some good saves over the course of the World Cup campaign, which I think he will feel ended a little bit too early for Brazil.
Indeed.
Here is Konate, whose World Cup campaign ended in the World Cup final when he came on as a substitute. He started the semi-final in place of Deo Upamecano, who was ill for that match. Back in the Liverpool starting 11 for the first time since that encounter. Here is Salah down the left, trying to get a shot away, blocked by the retreating Ben Mee. It hit the inside of his ankle and goes behind, just scooting past the upright and out for a corner.
Got a bit lucky, got himself in a great position, Mo Salah, inside right, looking to go on his left, tried to play it through the legs, come off the foot of Ben Mee and just sneak past the post for a good corner now for Liverpool.
I think they tried to take a quick one there, and it went out again for another corner. This is corner number 8 for Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold delivers the ball towards the penalty spot. Good header by Konate. And he sends it just narrowly wide of the right-hand upright as David Raya looks at it. It goes across the goal with his header. And it goes out the other side, and it doesn't trouble the goalkeeper too much, but it was a really good leap by Ibrahima Konate.
He's a threat on set plays. He really is.
Well, Brentford have a similar record to last season when they were 10th at the same stage this campaign. They will be going up to 7th if it stays like this. And how about this for a West London reverse? 7th Brentford, 8th Fulham, 9th Chelsea.
Incredible, isn't it? Well, I don't think Chelsea fans would be happy with that, but the other two. I mean, what Brentford have achieved.
Be delighted.
What Brentford have achieved since they come into the Premier League is nothing short of magnificent, really.
Well, it started a few years ago with the investment from Matthew Benham.
You've still got to adapt, though, when you get here. You've still got to find a system and find a manager and get the best out of those players.
But the way they planned the club and the the development, it was a long time in the planning. You know, they did it over 10 years, that rising through the leagues. You know, I remember when Bees United owned this club. It was a community-owned club. What, 15 years ago, maybe less than that now. Sorry, maybe younger than that now. And I remember meeting Matthew in the back of a cafe in Soho when he was talking about the plans that he was trying to get going at Brentford Football Club, because he was giving the community club money at the time, and he said, look, to be honest with you, if I'm going to keep giving them money, I'm going to need to take control of it because I want things done in a certain way. And boy, are they grateful to him now.
Yeah, he's done a wonderful job. I mean, it wasn't so long. I mean, I was playing at Griffin Park and I played for Crewe against Brentford in I think it was the league, well, what would it be then, in Division 3 playoff final.
When was that, 1978?
No, that was 1996, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe 97, I think.
Is that your last game before you went to Liverpool?
It was indeed, yeah. Picked up the man of the match and off I popped over
off into the sunset.
Yeah.
See you later, lads.
Good days, actually. Brentford were a good side then. Remember it, even then, back then. Always had a decent, good set of young players back then as well. But this team has surpassed all the Brentfords of years gone by, hasn't it?
Well, they're
stadium's full.
Heading towards their first win over Liverpool since 1938.
Oh.
Well, that's not a great ball by Alexander-Arnold. He's put his goalkeeper in big trouble. He's had to punch above the heads of Keane Lewis Potter and Josh Da Silva. And it was a rather dicey hook into the air as it was pumped forward by Brentford, by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is just about to be replaced by Curtis Jones.
Surprised at that. Not surprised Curtis Jones coming on, but maybe bringing off one of the defensive midfielders and putting Curtis Jones on, and going for it. Leaving Ox was a threat.
Yeah.
Got the goal, he's looking fit, he looks sharp.
He's been brilliant so far today, hasn't he, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain? He's got the goal as well. Does it make them less attacking slightly? Does it give them more sort of cross in midfield? How would you sum that up? Because Oxlade-Chamberlain was playing out on that left-hand side. And they're going to go two up front now with Jones just in behind them.
Yeah, it's a little change of formation. Good spot. Gives Brentford something different to worry about.
Here is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Up to Naby Keita. Keane Lewis Potter manages to rob him of the ball, and then Norgard chips it over the head of Konate, and then Buemo is coming in from behind, and he's beaten Konate to the ball. He's slipped it under the goalkeeper, and in!
He's saying foul.
And Jurgen Klopp is suffering from a severe New Year's hangover at the hands of Brentford. Brian Mbeumo scores Brentford's third goal. Stuart Atwell is being surrounded by green shirts who are protesting that there was a foul on Ibrahima Konate. Jurgen Klopp is saying the same to the fourth official, but the Brentford fans are going balmy because they're heading for 3 points against Liverpool.
I don't know why Jurgen Klopp's having a big argument. They're going to look at it anyway. If it's a foul, they'll spot the foul. This is a good tackle first and foremost. It's Norgard again. What a pass that is. I mean, Konate looks like he's there. He's got, physically. He gets there with the header. It looks to me like he trips over because he loses his balance. But we'll have to see again on this replay. It's a great ball. The pace gets him there. Look, he wins the header. I can't see anything. Very
difficult to give a foul for that.
Here we go.
I'm sorry. It's a little nudge, but when you go back to the other end, he's given the goal. When you go back to the other end earlier on, when there was a push in the back by Robertson on Roeslav, that wasn't given as a foul. It went out for a corner. So you can't then give that.
I don't think he's touched him anyway. I think he's lost balance. I mean, we're looking at that for the 4th, 5th time, and I can't see contact. If it is, it's tiny amounts. And Mbumo's been brilliant, I have to say. He's a real threat, isn't he?
What a fantastic result this is going to be for Brentford. 3-1 they lead. Brian Mbumo with the goal. And Liverpool are in massive trouble. And Jurgen Klopp has got that sort of sarcastic grin on his face that he sometimes puts on when he knows that his team have been beaten. And with all due respect to Brentford, you must say that Liverpool have been beaten here today.
Yes. I mean, it's not been great second half from Brentford, but why should it be? They've got the lead, they're hanging on, they've got numbers behind the ball. Liverpool haven't regularly opened them up, to be honest. They haven't had clear-cut chances in this second half and missed them. They've scored a good goal to get themselves back in, but that was another good ball, wasn't it, from Norgard? But it's a mistake from Konate. He's lost his balance, he's fallen over. It's hard. Do you know what the hardest thing tonight is going to be? To choose a man of the match. I can't remember if I have to do one, but there's so many good performances from Brentford. Do I? Okay.
You do. That was the producer.
I know it was, yeah.
You do. Just in case you wonder.
I'm talking to everyone.
Those voices in your head.
They never go away. They never go away.
But there'll be a few voices in the head of the Liverpool defenders tonight. And Mbumo's coming off now, by the way. So is Vitaly Janelt. Sergi Canos is coming on with a rather interesting 1980s looking mullet. Godos coming on as well.
Wow, that is a serious mullet.
It is, isn't it? I'm trying to go for that actually. Again,
that is
inspired
impressive.
by your pen pick from the Crew album in 1994, I think it was, something like that. Used to have one of those.
I tell you what, I have to say, I haven't been here before. This is a brilliant performance from Brentford. I've not seen them here playing at home with this crowd behind them, and it's been a real pleasure to watch them. They've shown all the qualities that people have talked about, and Liverpool have struggled to cope at times, especially in the first half.
It's been a great performance again from Brentford at home against one of the big boys. They've only lost here once all season in regulation time, but Salah is in behind, inside the box now. Keita comes across, good block by Pinnock. It goes out on the near side, and then Ben Mee will clear up over the halfway line. There are 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Brentford in front by 3 goals to 1 against Liverpool. Live on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today.
The other thing, Sam, is whether he touched him, he didn't touch him, or Konate slipped. You can't be relying on those decisions to win. Get you into games, get points or win football matches at Premier League level. They've made far too many mistakes tonight. They've given Brentford far too many opportunities.
Cross into the box by Robertson. It's too deep, too long, too high into the air, and easily gobbled up by David Raya away to our right-hand side. I don't think we should underplay the work of Vitaly Janelt in midfield. His 100th appearance for Brentford today. He missed Friday's game against West Ham United. Got through a hell of a lot of work in there, getting back and helping out the defence. He's gone off now, did really well in the heart of midfield, and Mbumo's pace caused problems. He's been replaced now by Sergi Canos. They've put more legs on to see this match through. There's a foul by Fabinho on Godos, just left of the centre circle, and it's going to be a famous night at the Brentford Community Stadium. I mean, I don't think it's probably ever happened before. They haven't got the history books to hand. I don't think Brentford have ever beaten Manchester United and Liverpool in the same season in the top flight before. What a season.
Incredible. It really is.
About to go 7th in the Premier League. Into the final few seconds of this 90 minutes of Premier League action. It's been a really good game to be at.
But you know what? It shows you what good coaching, tremendous togetherness and work ethic can achieve. It's not always about £80 million players, £100 million players. It's about lots of hard work with a good coach, knows his tactics, knows the type of personalities he wants in his team. Players who want to work for each other, who want to improve, want to do what the manager wants, want to work together for the crowd. Incredible things can be achieved with that togetherness and unity.
Well, you never write Liverpool off because they've scored a record 40 winning goals after the 90 plus winning minutes mark, but to get 3 goals now is some effort, although there is 6 minutes of added time. Godos has tried to release Keane Lewis Potter over the halfway line, but he can't reach it. Robertson can, and it's back towards the goalkeeper Alisson once again. Ball flicked forward by Robertson once more up towards Matip, headed away by me, back into Josh De Silva, who's got there ahead of the defender, and now Sergi Canos, who used to play for Liverpool, has hooked the ball on, and Keane Lewis Potter is trying to put pressure on Andy Robertson. And those two, both formerly Hull City players, colliding about 10 yards outside the box, and it goes back to Alisson, and Liverpool survive, conceding a 4th goal. But they're coming forward with players streaming up the pitch now, and that's leaving them a little bit exposed on the counter-attack, Liverpool, as they try and throw the kitchen sink at this last 6 minutes of added time. Ball into the box, flicked into the air by Canate, who's gone up as an auxiliary forward, and it's caught by David Raya. And then Rico Henry says he's got a head injury, so there'll be another delay here. What a game. What a result this could be. Liverpool now on the verge of dropping more points this season than they did in the entirety of last season.
Well, it is concerning and actually worrying in some ways. I mean, I was convinced, I was talking to Jamie Carragher and Michael Richards earlier before, and I was catching up with them, of course, but we were all convinced that Liverpool would come here and get a result because of their determination to improve on the first half of the season. Of course, 2 wins since they've come back after the World Cup break, and how wrong we were.
Away form's been really poor, hasn't it, over the course of the season. That's been a major issue for them. They've only took 8 points from their first 7 Premier League away games. In fact, it's going to be 8 points from their first 8 Premier League away games, which is their fewest at this stage since they took 7 points in 2012-13 under Brendan Rodgers. And they have lost now 3 of those Premier League away games. That is really troubling for Liverpool and for Jurgen Klopp, whose team are going to be on the wrong end of a defeat here by Brentford at the Brentford Community Stadium. It's almost a shame, really, bearing in mind what they've done so far this season. They didn't make it a little bit bigger, this stadium.
Yeah. Well, I thought that when I came. Maybe they didn't expect this progression and this club to go so far so quickly.
I think they're a little bit hamstrung by the bit of land that they acquired, which is almost like the size of a postage stamp in between a motorway and a bridge across the Thames. Here is Keane Lewis Potter out towards the far side, helped on by Roerslev into Keane Lewis Potter. Sergi Canos at the far post, he's waiting for the ball. Alisson has intervened just about. It's come back into the edge of the box, and Saman Godas, who's kept the attack alive. What an intervention that was from Alisson. Once again getting his distances and approach absolutely spot on, because if he had not have done, then that would have been a certain 4th goal for Brentford. They're coming forward again, across into the box by Rico Henry, and then Robertson heads it back to his goalkeeper in a rather dicey fashion.
Yeah, you're right about Alisson. That would have been embarrassing, wouldn't it? Make it 4.
Some of the defending from Liverpool has not been good today.
No.
That's been a real issue, and Liverpool giving up the ghost once again on this near side and giving up the ball once again. Me into Canos, and then back to Godos, and then into Rico Henry. Little triangles being played now by Brentford, and Canos is running at Fabinho, and then coming in field looking to try and play a delicate ball down the left channel, but giving it away, and it's cleared out on this near touchline. We're into the final few minutes of added time. 6 were added at the end of the 90, and it's Brentford 3, Liverpool 1 on Talksport. There are not many Premier League grounds where Liverpool haven't won. Bloomfield Road and the City Ground, the other 2, but this one is proving to be a very difficult place to come, not just for Liverpool but for everybody else as well. Here is Trent Alexander-Arnold skipping past 2 challenges. Keita onto Matip, a little back heel, comes back to Matip again, plays it wide to Curtis Jones, the second half substitute. Further on towards Alexander-Arnold, crosses into the box, cleared away by Ben Mee, who's blocking the first few minutes of this game from
crucial.
Darwin Nunez. May well have been a massive turning point in the game. Here down the left-hand side is Curtis Jones, back into Alexander-Arnold, then on to Thiago, and then he chips the ball into the air. It's desperate from Liverpool, but it's not going to prove fruitful. It's cleared away by Godos. It's up over the halfway line. A famous victory incoming for these Brentford supporters. 17,163 people inside this stadium. Absolutely grateful to be here because it's been a terrific return to Premier League action over the course of the last few days and weeks, but this has been right up there as a proper game.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, Rico Henry's been absolutely outstanding. He's coming off. And Boomer, again, I mean, he's wonderful performance from him, but Norgard, the captain, for me, is the man of the match. He's been absolutely superb in every aspect of his play, but you could have given 5 or 6 of these Brentford players tonight, I have to say.
Yeah, and we will do that in more detail with Adrian at the final whistle. It's all right, don't worry. Yeah, you went a bit early.
I went a bit early, sorry.
We won't find you.
I thought Aid was rushing off for his skateboard. Scooter, sorry.
Ball into the box, headed away. Comes towards Konate, down by Matip, out for a goal kick. And Adrian off to Queen's Park Rangers, Sheffield United, which follows this game live on Talksport. An exclusive Championship football match for you, an extra bonus on this bank holiday Monday. Tomorrow night, more Premier League action, and Wednesday night too. FA Cup action on Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday night. This is the place to be if you want high-quality live football. This one's certainly of a high quality. A tactically well-thought-out approach from Brentford. Liverpool just couldn't contend with the set pieces and the power in that first half. It could have been 4 up at half-time, Brentford. They've secured a 3-1 victory here. A memorable night in West London for this hearty group of fans that certainly create a stunning atmosphere in this tiny little arena. Not the smallest in the Premier League, but by no means the biggest, that's for sure. Here's Konate, forward towards Jones. A hook tackle by Norgard once again. On towards Zanka, who sends it forward. Keane Lewis Potter is offside, but it doesn't matter. There's the 4-time whistle. They have beaten Manchester City, and now Brentford, the team from the town they say is just a bus stop in Hounslow, have beaten Liverpool for the first time in 84 years. A terrific victory that kills off any faint hopes that Liverpool have had for challenging for the title, but dents and damages their top 4 hopes too. It's a competitive race, and Liverpool cannot stop spluttering and stuttering. Another hangover, the 7th time in 9 years. They have failed to win their first league game in January, but for Brentford, it's a very happy new year. Brentford 3, Liverpool 1.
And they're having a right old sing-song to celebrate, as they usually do as well. Jurgen Klopp on the pitch, greeting some of his players. He may have some words for them in the dressing room, on the coach, on the training ground in the forthcoming days. But that really was not good enough. Really wasn't. And let's bear in mind, you know, that Brentford did this without Ivan Toney, without their talismanic top scorer, without their main man. We all thought he'd be a big miss. Well, imagine what they might have done to Liverpool with him in the side. Brentford had 2 disallowed as well, and we will talk about how brilliant Brentford were, but Liverpool, wow, they've lost at Forest, they've lost at home to Leeds, they've dropped points against Brighton, against Palace, against Everton. They've looked a shadow of what they're meant to be, Liverpool. They've lost some of their magic, without a doubt. Van Dijk looks like somebody who's just come into the side and trying to settle in. He was subbed at half-time. Klopp can't get his midfield right. He's built a team that can't cope without Jordan Henderson, and he's signed a striker in Darwin Núñez who's really good at dragging clear-cut chances wide of the target. But it's Brentford who rightly take the applause as the Liverpool players head down the tunnel. They're not happy. Well, they can only be unhappy with themselves. These Brentford players go on their lap of honour and thoroughly deserve the New Year's round of applause that they're getting from the West London faithful here at the G-Tech Community Stadium. Smiles all round from those Brentford players as well. Thoroughly deserved. 2 up at half-time, 2 disallowed in that first half as well. Liverpool launched a fight back, as you might expect, pull one back, halved the arrears, but Brentford didn't just hold on, they added to their lead. and they made it 3-1 in the end. What a massive result for your first live exclusive Premier League commentary on Talksport of 2023. And Danny Murphy, let's talk about it, because Brentford, I thought, were brilliant. We'll do your man of the match shortly. I've got a little bit of a hunch you'll get it, but all those players deserve a huge amount of credit.
There was so much quality from this Brentford side. We talk about football in different ways, don't we? The creative aspect, pleasing supporters, and from a defensive aspect, the work ethic, the tenacity, the hunger. They've got a bit of both, haven't they? They really have. They've got players who can do good things with the ball, can open up teams with their passing. They've got speedy, skillful forward players, and they've got an organised back line that put their head in, put blocks in. It's a really well-balanced, well-coached side with a lot of players desperately hungry to succeed and improve. And that takes you a long way.
And you know what, we were talking about the lack of Ivan Toney beforehand, but what I think it did, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if dressing rooms work like this, but I think the players looked at it and thought, yeah, he is our main man, he's arguably our best player, but you know what, we're going to get together, we're going to work hard, we're going to follow the game plan, and we're going to do our very best without him. We're going to show the fans we can cope without him, and they more than did that.
Well, they did, and I think the person, I mean, Wister coming in and trying to fill the shoes of Toney, you know, he's on a hide into nothing in many ways, because everyone didn't expect him to score. Probably people didn't expect him to perform that way. Oh, we're missing Toney. Nobody think, oh, Wister can handle it. He showed these Brentford fans and his manager, you know what, we'll be all right if he's missing for a few more games. I'm here. I'm ready to stand up and be counted. So the other team members should be patting him on the back and going, well done, by the way. Not easy trying to fill the shoes of your star man. He deserves some credit today, and I haven't given many till now.
Well, give it to him.
I have, just did, yeah.
Well. Liverpool did get back in it. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and actually, it's a very small thing. It's a very tiny thing, but for Liverpool, as far as they're concerned, all that matters is they've just been beaten by a Brentford squad that's jumping up and down, and the fans bouncing up and down. It's like the Argentina fans at the World Cup.
Not
amazing.
Quite, but yeah.
Yeah, it's an incredible atmosphere inside here. But Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, a slight bright spot for Liverpool, and Trent going forward, creating that goal.
Not really, eh? Not really. So much disappointment for these Liverpool players and management staff tonight. Poor defensively, lack of concentration and application. Simple things, you know, the small details that you expect your players to always get right are marking off corners, winning second balls, blocking, stopping crosses. The first half was really poor.
Well, look, that first half where they conceded a couple of goals from...
Could have been more.
Yeah, I mean, 3 from corners went in the back of the net, 2 were disallowed. There was a cross from the right that went in as well. You could pull the defensive issues apart. Virgil van Dijk, Jurgen Klopp in the first half was remonstrating with Van Dijk. I thought he was doing that because Van Dijk's the leader at the back, but maybe it was because of Van Dijk's own performance, I don't know. He's dragged at half-time, he may have a knock, we'll have to find out with the post-match, we'll sure bring you on Talksport, but he's taken him off at half-time. Konate, second half, falls over for the third goal. What's going on there? He's got to be stronger than that. He's a massive lad. He's got to be stronger than that.
Too many mistakes, too many individual errors. The thing is defending, Aid, it's a collective. You have to do it together. Yes, of course, if you're at the back and you're making mistakes, you're going to get found out. You're going to get the magnifying glass on you. But collectively, Liverpool's defensive organisation doesn't look right. The wide men aren't getting back enough, helping the full-backs when they're under a bit of pressure. The midfield three that you talked about don't have the same dynamism as they've had in the past. That energy, that athleticism doesn't seem to be there. I mean, they can't just rely on Jordan Henderson. It's got to be other players now as well, stepping to the fore in every aspect of their play. But look, they've still got time to put this right, but they cannot expect to get in the top 4 if you start games with that mentality and defend like they did. You've got to do your job, and it's not that difficult on set plays to stick with your men. Do you know what the highlight was for me this evening, the most worrying one? Off a corner, when someone brings it down on their chest and volleys the ball into the net. That is problematic at whatever level you're playing.
To have that much time from a set piece in the box.
Ridiculous.
That's seriously got to be addressed. Listen, down there on the pitch, the Brentford players just in front of us, they've done their lap of honour. It's a normal thing they do here, to be honest with you, after a victory. Well, they've done it and thoroughly deserved the applause of the fans who've stayed behind to hail their heroes. Big smiles all round. as the Brentford flags are held aloft the St George Cross. The North Old Bees loud and proud. Brentford flags flying. Home and away Brentford, England, 3 Lions flag and the Bees flag as well. They'll make their way in the dressing room and they'll have some loud music going on in there. But it's time now for us to pick our man of the match with Car Finance 24/7.
Man of the match on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Get your finance sorted first, then choose your car. Search Car Finance 24/7 today.
I think I know who you're going to pick, Danny Murphy, but if I tell you he was the one who stripped his top off at the end.
Well, I apologise for eulogising about him too early, but I couldn't help it. You know, there were so many good performances. I mentioned earlier, didn't I? Rico Henry I thought was exceptional against Salah. Also his positivity to try and get forward. And Mbeumo, I mean, wow. His pace, by the way, I didn't realise how quick he was. First time I've seen him live. Absolutely outstanding. But Norgard in the middle of the pitch, he was the captain. He settled them down in the first half after that first 10 minutes. The winning the ball back, spotting danger, of course that's your job as a holding midfielder. But passing through the lines, being calm and progressive with your passing and getting your team on the front foot in terms of the counters, which is what he did. And even in the last minute, the last tackle of the game, the hooked tackle just in front of his box, it was an outstanding midfield performance. It really was. But you know what? You could give it any of them and they deserve it. They didn't carry one. They didn't carry one. And you can't carry one against the best players, the best teams in the league. They carried none. It was. I mean, I've seen Brentford a lot, not live, but I've seen them obviously doing a lot of games in the media. That's as good a performance I've seen from them in terms of the attacking play and the digging in, the organisation, the defence, and the subs did all right.
Fantastic team performance. But on Norgard, it was the ball to Mbeumo for the third goal that was superb. There was one that eventually led to a goal in the first half where players broken up on the edge of Brentford's own box and he fizzes a ball into midfield to get them going. It's brilliant, wasn't it?
Yes, me and you talked about it, didn't you? When you nudged me, but he got it, he won it back just inside his box. And he played the ball about 40 yards, 50 yards through the lines. They got a turn and they got the breakaway when Mbeumo outrun Virgil van Dijk.
He didn't just pass it, he's seen his man and fizzed it.
Oh
to
yeah,
him.
he fizzed it. It's the type of pass I expect players in that role to be able to play, and they all can't. Then they get the corner and then they get the goal. It was everything I like to see from a midfield player, but it's also what you want from a captain. Because after 5 or 10 minutes, and I was wrong by the way, I thought this could be a long day. Nunez had the chance, they got cleared off the line from me. And then I'm thinking, they're too deep, they've got too much respect, Liverpool are going to dominate them. And he was the one, got on the ball and started playing and just calming them down. Great role, a great leadership role.
Well, the other thing, and you mentioned it there, how things changed around after the first 5-10 minutes when Liverpool were dominant. Nunez had a chance and gone in. But they all had, whether it was from the sidelines or not, they all had the game intelligence to change things. If there was an instruction, they knew how to implement it. If it was from out on the pitch, then even better. But your captain is the leader of that, so he will have made sure that message got across. But every man, Jack, of this Brentford team knew exactly how to change things once they realised they're on the back foot.
They grew in confidence, and the wing backs got higher. And as soon as the wing backs got a bit higher and took more of a risk on the press, the back three moved up a little bit as well, which allowed them to make more attacks. But the other thing, of course, in any game, when you score first, you've got someone to hang on to and everybody's with you and everyone starts wanting the ball a little bit more, and they just grew in confidence. And of course they realised that Liverpool was struggling on the crosses and the set plays, so they kept doing it. And actually, although they had, I think Liverpool had one more chance. I'm sorry, it slipped my mind, a second chance. Oh, it was Tsimikas.
Yep.
You know, a poor finish. Yep. Other than that, really, with the set plays and the problems they caused Liverpool, they were lucky Liverpool to go in only 2.
Yeah,
that's how good Brentford were. Now, second off, it was always going to change the momentum because Liverpool were desperately trying to get back in the game. But I thought they managed it quite well.
Well, they did, and they ran out 3-1 winners, Brentford, against Liverpool. Great team effort, but it's the captain, Christian Norgard, who's our man of the match from today's game with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today.